I'm Carrie, and I am
Holy shit.
dropping, so
All
you
right.
can get more people. All right,
All right,
bye.
Carrie, stay hang
Love you
around,
guys.
everybody.
Carrie.
We love
Love
you.
you, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie, it is nice to see you. I'm just going to make sure that I'm following you and I'm not following you. So I just got you, girl. Thank you for coming up and supporting the space, and we appreciate you.
All right, man. Let's go. You guys know the routine. Short, sweet, nice and neat. William Garrison, start with you and then we'll go up.
Hey, pretty much I'll keep it short and sweet here, but I don't know if anybody ever brought up this point or not. Um, but who in their right mind would let Little X or I think it's Little X hang out with Trump if if Elon thought this or knew this? Like no one would ever do that. So, I mean, I wouldn't. I don't get who would. You know what I mean? So that's it. That's all I got to say. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Thank you for coming up.
You're welcome.
There you go. All right, man. Ladies first, guys. We're going to hop out of order, go back to Gen X, and then we'll get to the other two. Jen, what's up?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to that. Like, the people that are calling Trump a pedophile, it's like, do you not have reading comprehension? Because that's not what the post said. The post said he was in the files. That's all it said. And Elon would never let his child hang out with someone. He wouldn't have been BFFs with him. Like, it just wouldn't have happened. So that was irritating me to like all ends today. But that's it.
I can't believe they say that shit. That is horrible. That's the first I've heard that one today. Wow. Little X is a badass, and there's no problem with him in the White House with President Trump. All right, you guys, hate to do it again, but it's ladies first, and she did drop earlier. DCK Daily. DC, you're back with us. Glad we found. I thought you went invisible. I was scared. I was like, there she goes for the night.
Yep. Well, she's
No, it's an adventure. It's an adventure, you guys. Um, Look, I I agree that there's no way that Elon would let anyone near that child who would hurt that child in any way, shape, or form. I get that. Um, uh, all these Epstein file stuff, you got to understand something. That is really raw data. All right, it is hearsay. It's a discovery file. It is video, audio, all kinds of things, which they are trying to go through piece by piece. Because let's face it, who trusts the Biden FBI? But even before that, remember that Epstein and Trump had a falling out long before this, long before, and he was one who helped turn him in. Okay, just because he is on a list, just because he is in a discovery file, that is not dispositive. It does not reach the level of going to court, okay, at all. And it doesn't necessarily mean anything about guilt. Again, remember, these are discovery files,
Mhm.
they are raw data, and there is no possible way that these folks at DOJ who are Team America First are going to let those go out at all, unless they are gone over with a fine tooth comb to protect not only the cases that are happening right now, but any future cases. And why would you want to let anybody know what was going on in your investigation before you're done? Just saying.
Exactly. There's DCK with that silky smooth voice. Look who came up to see us. It is Scott Pretzler, people. Scott, how are you doing tonight? And what do you think of all this between Elon and Donald Trump? It is great to see you.
Hey guys, good evening. So today was unexpected and to say the least. And it really makes me worried about the future of our country and party if we can't seem to unite. If I had a problem with sassafras, like I'd call you up on the phone and I would do it privately and I would do it intimately and nobody else would know that you and I were bickering because I save my ammunition very peacefully for the Democrats. That is ultimately who I'm here to defeat, not one another. So I hope that we kind of learn from today and take a step back and go, why didn't I do this privately and not out in the public? But I did want to share some good news very briefly. And I think this will excite a lot of people on the West Coast. I'm going to make this public tomorrow. But I want to give a shout out to Ben, Edel, and Michaela in the state of Oregon because they have successfully gotten to one of the final stages of getting petitions to end automatic vote by mail in the beautiful state of Oregon. That's part number one. Part number two, June 14th, I'm coming to California because we are going to be getting petitions to get voter ID on the ballot in 2026. Then, to our beautiful Washingtonians, yes, the West Coast is on fire this week. I want to give a shout out to Matt Brown because they are doing petitions to also end automatic vote by mail in Washington. Then, on top of that, Nevada is going to have a voter ID on the ballot in 2026. Then, Boston, Massachusetts is working on getting voter ID in that state. Then, Maine is also going to have in 2026 a vote yes to get voter ID on the ballot. So, what I am telling to you, ladies and gentlemen, is although today was frustrating, we move forward, we keep our heads focused and centered narrowly on the work, and let's have big, beautiful wins this year and beyond. Mic drop.
Oh my God. Wham, bam. Thank you, ma'am. I am so excited. Actually, that is the news that we did need to hear, Scott. Thank you so much. I agree with everything that you just said. I actually even said, please, Elon and Trump, take it behind closed doors because we don't need it. Was very heartbreaking, but you drop in this information, especially in my space. I'm super excited because I'm from California. I'm in Florida now. I've been a Floridian for over 20 years, but I was born and raised in California. And honestly, these states really need help on the West Coast. They really do. And that just like literally made my mood so much better. You work so hard and I appreciate you. I think you're amazing. And I wish more people would get on board and try to, get these rhinos removed and try to get these things on the ballot that we need for this country. We need this. This is how we save our country. So that's amazing. Thank you, Scott. If anybody else wants to say something towards Scott, and wow, I'm just amazed. I'm going to yield back.
I love Scott Presler. He does a lot of hard work and for this country. And he's one of the reasons, too, why we won this election. Him, Elon, Trump. I mean, people, and the people, obviously, there's a lot of people that work their ass off, but you need leaders, strong leaders. And Scott Presler is one of them. So God bless you, Scott. And the problem with our side is no matter what you do, people are going to critique you. He's got a great attitude. You just got to keep moving forward and do what you got to do and try to stick together. Thank you, Scott. You're the best.
Definitely. I love what you said about, we shouldn't be fighting each other. The end, we want to save it for the Democrats, man. You want to save it for the left, man. They're the ones who's coming to take it away. Want to save it for the left so we can make sure we don't let that happen. Kay Daly, what do you got for head on over the rest of these hands?
Scott is exactly bang on. That's exactly what I was saying earlier. We need to have family fights behind closed doors and not for the Washington Post to be writing stories about. That was an old saw that we used for years and years and years. But you've got two folks who are still kind of learning what goes on and what doesn't go on in DC. And so this is not unusual between two CEOs who are used to snapping their fingers and boom, they get whatever they want instantaneously. And DC just doesn't work that way. But Scott is bang on right. And these petitions, if you guys are, I don't care what state you're in, these petitions are really, really, really important to help drive voter turnout. As much as anything, there's all kinds of studies that show if it's a powerful petition that's on a ballot, it can help drive or suppress voter turnout one way or the other. So Scott's onto something there. And speaking from my former home state of California, thank you very much. It needs it. It ain't the state of Ronald Reagan, no mo. We can hopefully turn it back to that. But this is really important to learn what hills to die on and what hills not to die on. Keep your eyes focused on the ball. Scott's got it exactly right.
Rock on. Thank you, Kay Daly. Go ahead, Andy. Come.
Now, I'm going to let you speak and I'm going to do hands and I'm going to say it one more time. If your hand's not up, I'm dropping you and I'm going to let someone else speak. So the next person that was up is, no, I forget. So I'm just going to pick Phantom.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going on, Sass? What's up, Annie Comi? What's up, Drax? How's it going?
Hi.
A lot of familiar faces down here, so I want to say thanks to the ones that know me. I appreciate you all. I was thinking along the same lines as Jen, trying to make a clear distinction that he definitely probably had some kind of business ties with Epstein, but there's a clear difference between business ties or being in the files versus being in the client list. I mean, when he was building Trump Tower, there was a lot of mafia that was in his building, that was renting out of his building and occupying in the building, but he wasn't. That doesn't mean that he was the mob, if that makes any sense in analogies form. You know. And another thing that I was going to mention too is that if he was, I don't think Pam Bondi would be giving him such genuine smiles in the Oval Office throughout this entire time if she had any kind of information, that would point in that direction. And another thing that I was curious about was, does anybody have like any tidbits on what the hell the whole black eye thing is about? I mean, the first thing that came to my mind was like an Amber Heard booty call gone wrong or something. Like, I don't know what the hell the black eye deal is about. If anyone else does.
The story is Phantom. Just I said it earlier. That he was roughhousing with X.
Oh, wow. Well, I guess X got a good right hook, huh?
For a little guy, yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Good shit. Anyways, thanks for letting me speak, and I'm going to yield from here. Thanks, everyone.
Well,
Thanks,
thank
man.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. I mean,
Absolutely.
gosh dang, guys, this space has been fire. I'm sitting here and I'm just like amazed. Scott Presler jumped in, dropped some bombs. That shit was amazing. I feel very pumped. Earlier, I felt pretty. I just did not like the stuff with Elon and President Trump, but I feel good after what Scott said. I'm like, damn. I'm like, the conservative movement is just it's just growing. It is growing. And also somebody said earlier that they have a movement going on in California where meet a liberal or befriend a liberal, which I didn't think I could do, but that would probably be a good idea if we can change some minds, because a lot of those blue people are changing over to red. So I'm going to yield back because good golly, we've got a lot of requests coming in, so that's crazy. Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm reeling, like I'm still reeling over Scott's mic drop, so that's crazy.
Okay, we're going to go with Buckster.
I was just going to say, I wish Scott didn't leave the room. I'm very, very excited that he's actually coming out to Massachusetts. And I want everybody to understand how big that is because they always, always skip over Massachusetts. Any of the big stars, they all think it's a lost cause, but the voting bloc changed when President Trump won, and people can see it. And a lot of people are fed up with the batshit crazy stuff that goes on in the state. So I, for one, am psyched. Can't wait till he gets out here. He's going to be surprised with the reception that he gets. So it's outstanding. Voter laws are key. They don't have them right now. So cannot wait to see him come out here and get that changed with working with a guy named Chester Tam. So just wanted to say that real quick.
Thanks, Buckster. Maddie B.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and I just wanted to give a shout out to Scott for that great news. But real quick, I think the Epstein files, if there was anything derogatory with Mr. Trump, they would have definitely been released in the 16 election and without question the 24 election. And regarding the Musk Trump thing that's going on right now, I'm a former retired ICE agent, and my retirement was impacted on the potential of Kamala getting in and abolishing ICE. So I jumped out a little bit too soon now, but I really think this is a chess move by the Republicans and conservatives, because if you notice, the ICE agent arrests and everything that's going on has been quiet since this took off. And if you're tracking, the ICE arrests have gone through the roof in the past 3 days, and it's not captivated by the news and CNN and everything right now. So I really think this was a chess move, and just to give props to the ICE agents and everything they deal with. And I think they're doing amazing work right now. And if that stays quiet, that's good for all of us. Thanks again, Sass.
That's a great point, Matt. I actually posted a bunch of ice stories on my page earlier this morning. We had a lot of good news coming out and arrests, but nobody. Yeah, I think you're onto something. But thank you for your service too, and hopefully you can get your job back and deport some illegals. Okay, Shane, go ahead, Shane.
Hey everybody, hopefully my Wi-Fi is doing okay tonight. I'm kind of in a small country today, but yeah, guys like Scott Presler. I mean, what he's done for the country, helping change laws and stuff. The man never stops. He deserves the Medal of Freedom. I hope Trump presents it to him before he gets out of office. But yeah, it's this whole thing. I've been traveling for about 15, 16 hours today. And so I had Wi-Fi sporadically and I'm just catching these tidbits. And I see two billionaire dudes who are friends with each other having an argument on Twitter. And it's just blown my mind what a dumpster fire has become of a couple of comments. And, it makes me feel like there's something under the surface for that, whether it's taking this one big beautiful bill and splitting it up and having smaller bills, which is what I 100% agree with. I would like to see a lot of these bills not be massive and be voted on either individually or um, at least have them not be so big. The other thing is the spat about the Epstein files. It's really divided a lot of people between Trump and Elon, and I think it might be a push to get those files released. I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but it just seems like there's more under the surface with two genius billionaire guys who have been together throughout the entire election and seem joined at the hip. Their kids are hanging out. Trump's niece hanging out with Elon, and Trump hanging out with Lil X. Like, I don't think it just turned sour like that overnight. So I'm really curious to see, what's going to happen in the next few days, and if you guys think anything is happening behind closed doors that we're just not seeing yet. But these guys are geniuses. I think there's something else at work here that, I mean, this is major news. It's getting Epstein files, big bills, like all this stuff right in the front of the news, and everyone's fighting over it and dividing over Elon and Trump. And I think they might just come back and, be bros again, but it's just blown me away. Like I said, I've been traveling all day and I come back to see this massive dumpster fire, and
Oh yeah.
it's been crazy.
It's definitely a dumpster fire, but I'm seeing Elon responding to certain topics, and so I think that I don't know if it was a publicity stunt. It might have been. I mean, after looking at some of his comments now, I don't know. But I will tell you this. I just want to be real clear, real quick, guys, because I try to go through my comment section here on Spaces when I'm doing them, because I try to be considerate to all people. Please do not get ugly or irate if you are not picked to speak just yet. Some people do wait a little bit when they have their hand up. We're not trying to be ugly or mean to you. It's just that when you have a space that is actually going high traffic, which this one is doing crazy, and I don't know why, but it's because I do know why. It's because Drax is actually live streaming on X right now with this, because I forgot to record the space. And yes, I'm sorry, everybody else was pointing me, and I mean, hold on, guys. I'm just saying it's getting high traffic. Please don't be ugly in my comment section and tell me that you're never going to join my space again or anything like that, because I promise you, it is not personal. We love to rotate mics and get everybody up on the speaker stage. We are not salty, angry, or do popularity contests. We literally try to give everybody a microphone that wants to come up and talk, but kind of impossible sometimes when we have as many people coming in. Like right now I see 19 people trying, or 14 people trying to request a mic. It's crazy, so please be patient. It's nothing personal. We're not trying to ignore you, and I hate that I have to say that, but I guess people just get really shady and salty and then just start doing nasty things in the comments and stuff. So be nice, guys. I'm going to yield back, but yes, Ken Walls, you're amazing. Everybody's amazing on the space. Buckster, you guys are what makes the space. The speakers, the listeners, you guys are great. And we had a very rough day today. I tell you what, it was very rough. I wasn't panicking, but I was very, very embarrassed. And I'm going to say that again. I was embarrassed for America today after seeing that. whatever this was between Donald Trump and Elon Musk, I was embarrassed because everybody was watching us and it felt like we were on a stage, and people, the Democrats are just loving it. And I really, really hate when the Democrats feel like they have the upper hand and they can make fun of us, because like Lord knows those people are fucking stupid and they're constantly on the laughing block. But today it felt like we were, and it hurt. It felt like I don't want to say the same thing everybody did, but it felt like two parents are fighting. So, and we were stuck in the middle. So I'm going to yell back.
I'm gonna drop down, but I just wanted to say, like Sass, Anti-Comedy, Drax, all the co-hosts and people that host these spaces, they work so hard. So please just give them a little respect. Sass works her ass off. She's an amazing person. Everybody on here, but I'll drop down. I know you're working hard, Sass, and Drax. Your live stream's pretty awesome, dude. So good to see you guys. Love you guys.
Appreciate
Thank
you,
you.
Sam.
Thank you, Shane. We love you too.
Love you, Shane. Okay, Jen.
So something came out from Politico saying that they already have a phone call tomorrow scheduled. So I don't know if we're ever going to find out what this exactly was, whether it was a psyop or not. And hopefully they will kiss and make up within the next 24 hours and this roller coaster ride of emotions will be over. Today was insane. I have to tell you though, the one time I did get kind of upset is when I did repost one of his truths and I was like, I don't know if any of you saw it, but I was like, take your effing corners. This is embarrassing. I was so mad. But I think this will go away sooner than later. So hopefully they have a good phone call tomorrow. Praying for that.
She's praying for a good phone call, Auntie Commie. Let's hope it goes well.
I think it will. Just a hunch. Okay, Kay.
Real quick, I think it was Shane who mentioned that he wished that there were separate bills. Shane, if you're still listening, look up reconciliation bills. Those are a different color of cat. And rather than requiring 60 votes for passage, it requires only 51. And so it's really, really, really important that they do this reconciliation process. If they had to do it with all these bills, they would be separate bills, they wouldn't be reconciliation, and they would be required to have 60 votes, and it would not pass. Also, it should be noted that the White House sent up today the first of many Doge cut bills. So that went up to the Hill today, and it's already in committee. It's going to take a while to get this through. All right. But I just wanted to let you know, Shane, look up reconciliation. It's a really interesting process. It's a procedural thing that's really arcane and really boring and really parliamentarian and really Senate.
All right, Kay. I'm trying to think. Roden.
Salty, it's rolling.
Hey, you guys.
Hey,
Oh my
actually,
goodness.
Roden, I've been wanting to hear from you because I heard that Ukraine got bombed today by Russia.
Kiev.
Kiev.
Kiev did.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, they're going to level it, unfortunately.
That's
That
really
stunt
sad.
that was pulled by Ukraine towards Russia is not going to go unnoticed. For some reason, Donald Trump doesn't know what was going on. So I'm not sure what was going on over there, why Lindsey Graham was there. The only thing I can think of that was done by Biden administration because it was 18 months in preparation. But they didn't destroy them. They did a huge damage to them. But Russia now is throwing bomb after bomb on Kiev. Kiev is not that big, just to let you all know. So it's gonna level it like Mariupol. So I'm just pray, because even today Trump said that let them fight because there is not much he can do about it anymore.
Well, do you have family there, Roden?
I do have some, but not many. And uh, the last thing I heard yesterday was that they were supposed to be evacuating Kiev
Hmm.
because they already knew that attack is coming because Russia already announced that they will be bombing Kiev. They
Wow.
announced it yesterday. So a lot of civilians were already evacuated.
Oh,
So
well,
that.
So they had a heads up. So that's good.
They always do, Auntie. If it's a civilian targets, they always do.
Well,
Just
that's
like
good.
when they throw the bomb on anywhere, they usually do tell them that it's going to be an attack, so evacuate the population. The last time it happened, they were all underneath because they have subways. That's why I was very happy when Elon Musk was actually proposing the underground areas where, for the subway and stuff like that, so people can go, is because if the bombs are going on the top, they usually don't get to the bottom. So we do have a lot of, all of our schools are equipped with um, bomb shelters, and all of the houses are equipped with bomb shelters. So, because that's how they built back in the Soviet Union. The new homes, I don't know about, but when I was leaving, every house had a bomb shelter. So, that is not something that it will have a lot of casualties, but people will lose the housing. That is the biggest problem.
Sad. All right, Derek. How are you, Derek?
I'm good, guys. How you guys doing?
Good. What do you think about today?
So I would agree that during the moment, during the thing, it was just like, oh my God, guys, like this is, it's terrible. But you have some time to step back away from it and kind of look at it. I look at it like this. We have two people. We have the world's richest man and the world's most powerful man, both on our side. And they are basically, I'm not necessarily happy with their methods doing this publicly, but they are basically debating what each of them believe is the best for the future of our country in the moving forward. So that is not necessarily a bad thing in that regard. At the same time, you have the left who is still pushing open borders, still defending terrorists, still pushing boys and girls bathrooms. At the end of the day, nothing's really changed. We are all still on the same team. We are still winning right now. The Democrats still suck, and hopefully they have a good phone call tomorrow. That's kind of where I've landed on this whole situation.
Well, thank you, Derek. Um, we're gonna Edward. Edward, my friend. Go ahead, Edward.
Queen, good to see you, Drax, Sass, Ken Walls, Boxster. Really appreciate Scott coming in. Just two things. 1826. What that means in the next 2 years, 4 million young people will turn 18 years old. We need to make sure they vote red. So if you know any families that have young people, 17 years old, get ready to turn 18, we're doing it here in California. We're going to the college campuses. We're out 18 to 26. That's the strategy that we have for that one. And Sass, I was the one who told you that we need to adopt a liberal. There's enough liberals. We're doing it here in California so that we can get people who are conscious enough to realize that they've been told a lie by the left. We need to adopt them and help them understand that we are a constitutional republic. We are not a democracy. And when you do that and you sit down with them, they do, guys, I'm telling you, there's a lot of people on the left that do love America. They just have not been spoken to by someone who cares. And in this room tonight, America has spoken. I love all of you Americans. That's who we are. We stand tall and we are good. Just remember that. If you guys get a chance, read the 13 folds of the United States flag. It's our country, whether she's good or bad. It's still our country. I land there.
Thank you, Edward. And I will try. I am allergic to liberals, but maybe I'll take some Benadryl. Okay, Joey.
I was thinking the same thing. I couldn't remember who said it earlier, but I just don't know. I'm going to try. I'm going to try real hard. And meaning when I say that, I'm probably really not going to try. But, but I'll try for your sake. I just can't.
No,
I just can't befriend
but
those
Sass,
freaking Looney Tunes. They're like
I
loony.
know, but Sass, you have a conversation with them, no Sass.
But I
I
can't
watch
even
your
do
timeline.
that. They don't
I
even
know,
know
but
what a
I
woman
watch your.
is.
I know, but you can help them learn it. That, like I tell them, men can't get pregnant. It's just, even when I talk to blacks, I tell them, guys, don't worry about it. This is the best country for you. Where's you gonna go? You can't go nowhere else, man. Just stop the division. And they listen. That's why I come in the barbershop, guys. You gotta
It's
understand. I'm
true.
I'm right there, and they say that it's what we say and how we say it, guys. We control the narrative. We're winning. We're on the winning side.
I know, but I just don't like them. I'm sorry. I'm like Queenie. I'm allergic to those motherfuckers. I do not like them. I've tried, like, honestly, I tried. I had a lot of friends on Facebook that were liberals, but for many years they kept trying to tell me that I should feel bad that I was white. And I'm like, why should I feel bad that I'm white? I was like, dude, I have no white pride, no white guilt. What is your I'm just white. I'm white, guys. And and they would make me feel guilty, and I was like, but I don't feel guilty. And I'm like, dude, I'm married to a Cuban, and they would call me a racist. And then I'm like, I'm married to a Cuban and my kids are half Cuban, but I'm a racist. I was like, I just don't get it. So I just don't like these people. I mean, I guess because their reality is so far different than the real world and how they should be in the real world with us. And then they have the audacity to say that we're in a cult and that we're Trumpist cult. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you can talk common sense to them because they don't even have common sense. It's like they completely done lost the plot and they don't have it anymore. So I'm going to yield back because I know God dang, we keep getting requests
Hey,
up.
hey,
So,
Fast, Fast. Just on this note, Fast, I want you to know this is what I tell my children.
uh-huh,
There's 500,000 people that did not look like Edward.
uh-huh.
My grandfather taught me this, and my dad taught me this. There were white people that fought the Civil War, and I celebrate white people because America is the last bastion of hope. A lot of people laid down their lives during that time on our soil. The only country that's ever done it. We got to celebrate each other, not tolerate each other. Again, I tell people, Sass, it's okay, proud to be it. I tell all my white friends, never apologize. It's okay to be privileged. When they told me back in 2024, you're voting for what? I said, I'm voting for privilege. If you want me to vote, I'm voting for privilege because I want to be privileged too. You know why? Because I live in the most privileged country in the world. This is where we miss it. Don't we can't get it twisted, guys. America's a beautiful place. It's a place of privilege. I don't know why people don't think this. 600,000 people who do not look like Edward died that Edward could be free. I'm not going to take that lightly. The guys in the barber say, "When was America great?" I says, "When white people laid down their life so that you can ask that question." I land.
Love you,
You know
Edward.
what? You know what, though? I have to say, though, real quick, I love what you just said, but I also did you guys ever watch what is that movie? And I think it's based off of a true story, the one with Cuba Gooding Jr., where he was a cook on a naval ship, and he,
In Pearl Harbor. Yeah.
yeah, not the Pearl Harbor movie, but he actually was it the Pearl Harbor movie? I don't know if it was the Pearl Harbor movie, but
Yeah, Seth, he was in Pearl Harbor. He was also
yeah, he
in
was in another.
Tuskegee Airmen.
Yeah,
Tuskegee Airmen.
he was in another one too. But he picked up that thing. So there were plenty of people. It wasn't just that war, but there were plenty of people that have stood up in different wars and different ethnicities. And I'm proud. You know what? I'm proud that they're Americans and they did that and they laid down their lives. So everybody has made a sacrifice. Every single person in our past that fought in these wars made a sacrifice, and they chose to. They chose to. So I appreciate it so, so, so very much. And I'm going to yield back because I know we got some hands up. Um, you guys are amazing. I can't believe, everybody just keeps wanting to come and talk to all of us. And you guys are all such, great people. And you all have great perspectives. It's so amazing to hear different perspectives from everybody. And I absolutely enjoy this. And I love you all.
Hey
Hey, can
guys.
we get Edward to give up his privilege card? Edward, you got to give up your privilege card.
Hey, kid, you know I'm not giving it up, kid. I'm sorry. Hey, you're my brother from another mother, but I'm not giving it up.
I love you, dude. Good seeing you, bro.
I love you too, man. Hey guys, this is the beauty of America. People don't know that people that do not look like us, we can all get along because it's not division. It's together. We don't need two visions. We have one vision for America. Listen, our founding fathers did something great, guys. We hold these truths to be self evident. We all are American. We get to stand tall, guys. All of the world is trying to get in here. My wife and I have been to 54 countries, guys. No one's trying to get into Russia. No one's trying to get in North Korea. No one's trying to get in there. They're all trying to get here. We live here, man. Let's make sure we preserve this beautiful mosaic. Look at this beautiful panel. Drax got this thing live streaming. America. Good morning, America. We're good, guys.
Amen. I like that spirit. All right, man. Rock and roll. Let's go on down to. I want to talk to. We're gonna go to Brother Buck. I'm pulling seniority. I want to hear Dad say. Then we'll go to Star Soup. Then back to Joey. Buck, what's going on?
Yeah, I just want to say, Edward, you are awesome, man. You really are. Every time I hear you speak, you're outstanding. You know, when I was in the Marine Corps, we didn't see color. We didn't see it at all. We were all green. And wouldn't it be nice if you could take that and just apply that to everybody else? Instead of saying black, white, brown, you know, and it's not, you know, if people want to be proud of the heritage, that's fine. But I see you as a man. I see your beautiful wife there, you know, as a beautiful woman. I don't see the color. You're either a good person or you're a bag of shit. And there's a lot of people out there that aren't great, but I got to tell you right now, that's what we should be focusing on is we're all Americans, we're all MAGA, and we believe in this country and we believe in the flag. Whether you actually fought for it or not, you're here fighting for it right now, and that's what counts. So thank you, Edward, for all you do, brother.
Hey, Baxter, you're correct. Hey, Sass, you don't know. My dad was born in 1919. He was in the Air Force. He actually worked in the mess hall. Listen, they had separate mess halls, guys. My dad was a cook in the white mess hall. My dad told
Really?
me, yes, my grandpa too. Guys, there's a lot of stuff you don't know, but I can share this with you so you understand. My dad told me that the people that helped him when he was in the Air Force were people that don't look like him because he was on that side. And he realized that those people loved the country just the way he did. And he says that his dream is that his children could live in a country that's just free. And I'm so grateful that I had a father like that. So I want you guys to know I grew up in a home that my dad taught me responsibility, not division. So I love America. Never been a Democrat, never will be a Democrat. And the reason why? Because I love America.
Gosh, I think I love you too. Don't tell my husband, but I think I love you too. I'm just kidding in case anybody we know that's recording. I'm kidding. I love my husband. No, that's really great though. I love the patriotism. It makes me so emotional when I hear testimonies like yours and other people. I really I get emotional because you know we really live on the greatest we live in the greatest country in the world, but some people have just forgotten it. They've forgotten all the people that died for our freedoms and all the people that served our military. They forget, you know, while they're on $1,000 phones and they're wearing $300 shoes and they think they're oppressed, you know, and it just amazes me. And it was really heartbreaking to see real quick, you know, and it started long before 2020, but I remember watching 2020 when COVID happened and there was a tyrannical government. And I also saw what happened with George Floyd. And then I saw the saddest thing that I saw and in not the saddest thing, but you know, just to put in perspective, that they started changing the narrative of crime. I saw a lot of blacks in New York going after Asian people. They called them yellow and they said that they were white. Asians were now considered white because they were light skinned. Mexicans were considered white. Everybody was considered white. Anything to drive up the narrative that white people were committing more crimes than black people in America to justify what they were doing with George Floyd. That really bothered me. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, do you guys understand what is happening here? I'm like, they're literally trying to create a false narrative to drive up a racist agenda to get you to think that whites are the problem in America and that they should be eradicated. How about we eradicate the racism that has been brought back up, and how about we start penalizing the people that are committing actual crimes, okay? And, holding them accountable instead of constantly giving them an excuse to make crimes. Like, I think it was Hunter Eagleman had a post. Was it today or yesterday? He had a post because he used to be a detective in California, and I mean, some of you people I shared with you guys. My brother is a huge criminal in California. Like he was pretty bad. I don't like to talk about it much, but I do share that he was a criminal. And now in California, they're trying to pass a bill that if you are under 26 years old and you commit a huge crime, you will not get the death penalty or life in prison. You will get parole. And I'm like, why are you guys incentivizing people under 26 years old to commit these fucking crimes and then tell them that they could do this and they don't have to worry because they're not going to get life in prison or they're not going to get the death penalty? There's something seriously fucking wrong. And I know for a fact if my brother was under 26 and he did something like that with a bill like that passed, because he did put a cop in a hospital in a coma, and my brother is currently under investigation for a murder in California, which I'm not surprised. Guys, I can't pick my family. So you're telling me if my brother was 26 and under, you're gonna let him, hey, go ahead and commit the crime, guy, and guess what? You're not gonna get life in prison. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? I'm so sick of the Democrats. I'm so sick of them. I'm so sick of everything about them. Even in California, they didn't want to pass a bill that called pedophiles out for what it was. Every single Democrat in the state Senate for California voted against the SB 51 bill. And actually, a woman that I thought was a liberal came out. She goes, I can't do this anymore. She actually came out. This was I think it was about 6 months ago. She came out. She goes, I can't do this anymore. And she looked like a fucking liberal, the kind with the glasses, the hair, the short bob haircut. And she goes, I can't do it. She goes, I don't understand what is wrong with you guys. She goes, we are supposed to be here to protect the people. She goes, I am a Democrat and we were supposed to protect the people, but now you're voting against protecting children. She goes, I can't be part of the Democrats anymore. She goes, my job here is to protect our people and to protect our children. And you guys are passing bills for pedophiles. She was mad. She fucking left and she went independent. So yeah, the people are waking up. The people are waking up to the corruption. And that's how bad it is. Did I ever think that I would see the Democrats on a side where they were racist or, voting for pedophiles and grooming and mutilating our children? No, I honestly did not see that happening. But yeah, now I see it. I mean, I've had a wake up call the last 5 years, but I never saw that. And even though I knew that the Democrats were the party of racism through the KKK, I thought we got all over this shit. I thought we got over it. And then all of a sudden it came booming back. So I'm gonna yell back and land my plane because you know what? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hands, and we still got a lot of people requesting. So I am gonna be very quiet. You guys go ahead. Don't all talk at once either.
Okay, well, let's go with, I think Kay had her hand up first. And then,
Just
Daily.
just
okay.
wanted to say, Sass had said something about people have forgotten. I think she said that about the history and the amount of blood in the flag and all of that that Edward so beautifully expressed, and all the sacrifice that has been made for this country. I would actually say that I don't think they forgot. I think they were never taught, and that's sort of the price of not being taught history and civics, and not having it taught right. That's part of it. And the second thing I'd say is I don't tend to lump all Democrats together, just like I don't tend to lump all Republicans together. I think there are liberals. I think there are leftists. And I think there are folks who are moving and inching towards independent. But it's the leftists you got to watch. There was someone who once said, "It's the new left, the old left, and the what's left, and it's the what's left you got to look out for." So, the what's left over there at this point is what we got to look out for. It's the loudest ones over there that are certainly not going to listen in the adopt a Democrat program. But there are some Democrats who are old school, classic liberal types who agree on several things, and that could be the opening. I think Edward's onto something there. Um, and hopefully it would work. But I would get hives if I had to go and deal with a blue-haired feminist who, you know, goes to all those rallies and watches The View and MSNBC. I get hives, so I understand.
Hey, real fast. I'm gonna have to go to bed, you guys. I love you all. Have a good night. Can't wait to see what happens tomorrow. But you can put someone else up as co-host, Sass.
Oh my God, come on, Andy. You got to tell them if they can't be good, be bad.
Oh,
You got to give
Sorry,
options.
Jen.
Okay, Queenie. Okay, Queenie, drop yourself down. I mean, I'm not sure. I don't normally, drop people down, so you'll probably have to
I'll
drop
stop
yourself.
co-hosting so you can bring up someone else.
Come on,
Good night,
All right.
guys.
anti-commie,
Love you.
anti-commie. Wait a second.
Bye.
Anti-commie. Don't leave you.
bye,
Yeah.
Queenie.
Queenie.
Good night,
Queenie,
Queen.
Queenie, Queenie
My
had,
I'll
love.
see you
guys,
at the
she
Bob.
had
boulevard.
surgery.
Queenie, just tell them if they can't be good, be bad.
If you can't be good, be bad.
There it is. Love it. All right, man. We'll get Kate Daly up here. Whoever's going to come up and co-host, man, jump up here either. We got Delma and Louise both down there. So just pick your poison.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Hold on, wait. Who am I bringing up as co-host? Because I don't want to. I don't want to upset anybody. Because y'all are my best friends. Like Road and Kay, Buckster. Everybody's my best friends. Ken. So
Don't matter. Just bring somebody. Bring me. Bring KK. You're okay, or me, or whatever.
Or
Oh,
me. You can
Walls.
bring me. I'm
Walls.
just
No, don't
kidding.
bring Ken.
Doesn't
Do
Me,
not
me,
matter.
bring
me, me,
Ken.
Kidding.
me.
Do
The
not
ball.
bring
y'all are.
Ken. Do not bring Ken. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna
I
make
just meant
I'm gonna
bring
make
me.
Drax pick because I don't want to be the bad
I
guy.
always pick.
Oh,
I'm
you're not
on
going to be
bias.
the bad
Baby.
guy. It doesn't matter. Oh, you know what I wanted to say about California, though? You got to remember, California, when you stole under $1,000, that was not a felony. That was a misdemeanor. What people didn't realize when everybody was running around and saying it's reparations and everything in California went up. Every store closed. Everything was under the glass. It was awful, awful what was going on. And who paid for it? We did. Insurance on the stores went up. That means that the products end up being much more expensive. uh, we have a whole bunch of illegal aliens coming into the country, but they end up in California because they were coming from Mexico. What happened there? We have the highest insurance rate in the country for automobiles. Why? Because there is uninsured motorists that is covered. So we are paying for all that crap that people, I don't know, the Democrats are stupid or blind. I'm not sure what's going on. But if you will think about it, no matter what, no matter how, you have a legal alien working for you, your work comp, he gets hurt, he gets this, your work comp is going up to the roof. It's all because they're still considered to be on the payroll. It doesn't matter that they're working on cash. If they're on your job site, you have to pay for their insurance. You have to pay for everything. So I'm telling you, people are not realizing how much money in reality it costs. They go to the hospital. The hospitals are overwhelmed because they don't have insurance. They have to go to the emergency room. It is all together. Who is paying for that stupid insurance? We do. My insurance went up almost 70% in the last 5 years. My medical insurance, my regular car insurance went up what, 45% or 50%? Edward, how much was it in California that went up?
It's almost
Almost
60%, 57
60%.
to 60%.
And it's not because of us, it's not because of the insurance companies. They need to recover the loss. They need to do something to offset all the expenses that's going on. And people are not realizing that, and everybody is like, in California, they're picking your crops, they're cleaning your hotels. I'll go clean my hotel myself. Get it out.
California is a shithole and it's overtaxed. I grew up there. I've lived there all my whole life. So I know what you're talking about. Property taxes. I don't know what they pay on a $500,000 house. I think it's like, what is it, like 5,000 or something?
No,
For
it's like 10, it's like 10,000. My dad's house is valued at like 800,000 and
yeah,
he pays like $15,000 in taxes, but it's in Orange County. And then everybody that I know in Orange County is paying like $10,000 or more for their property taxes. It's
yeah,
insane.
yeah. By comparison, so I moved to Tennessee it's a little over 2 years ago, and property taxes for a $500,000 house here are $1,200 a year. So California is just ripping people off left and right, and I don't know what they're doing with the money. It's like it's very yeah, it is. It's very sad. So sorry for interrupting, guys.
We're in deficit right now. We're in bad shape. Everybody is talking about how great the price of the gas is. We're still paying $5 a gallon for unleaded, not premium, unleaded.
You know, it's crazy. When I left California, I remember when I left California in 2003, I just started paying, I think like $2.10 a gallon in California. It's insane what you guys pay. When I go out there, I get so mad. You guys are being ripped off. You guys are being taxed to death. And I feel the same way in Florida. Like Florida, I bought my house for, what did I buy my house for? 342 in 2020, 342,000. But I'm even pissed off. Like my property taxes are like $4,000, $5,000 a year. When I first bought it, they were like $1,500 a year. It's getting expensive. We're all getting priced out because everybody is leaving California, coming to my state or Tennessee or, some of the states that are the southern states. But then California, they keep raising the taxes on you guys to make up the people that are leaving. And also, I found out that they are now taxing people if they decide to leave California. You're still going to have to pay a tax. Like, the fuck? We are being overtaxed. This is not, dude. They overthrew the government for a 2% tax. What was it? 2% tax, T-tax? You know what I'm saying? So,
Free.
yeah, like, come on. This is California. You're commie California. So I'm going to yield back, guys. We've got some hands up. Let's go ahead and get to them. I don't know who was next, but I guess I'm just going to randomly pick Joey.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead, Joey. Or I'm sorry, Drax,
Well,
who or Kay, who
we'll
was
go
it?
to Joy. Of course, we got
now you're talking about things that, going after certain people, you'll get me killed, let's just get me killed, and just basically without saying and telling Rogan to kind of pivot the conversation. And he did. And so I thought, okay, I get being nervous on that, but this is the guy supposed to be spearheading this fight. And so if he's already talking about that he has this point where he's not going to go any further, then what hope do we have? But so that kind of bothered me and concerned me. And then there's this. And so when I think about what all this could be about, part of me wondered, is this sort of did they get to him? Is there something, or, and is it possible that that's what this is happening? He's having a freak out, about it. And, or is it, and so, Trump's trying to work this out and figure it out. Or is this, they know that somebody got to him and this is their way of trying to give him some breathing room while they're in the process of still making a move without letting them know they're making a move, because that I could see happening. Um, and then there's just, the clean house part, that I think with most great kings, they, especially in very volatile countries, they had a, great strategy of having somebody in their, privy council who would be intentionally recalcitrant and would just kind of push their luck when in towards the king, and that was a way of drawing out people who already had a plot in mind, who were already looking to screw the king over, and that they would go over to this guy and like try to recruit him and like try to, and that it's a really intelligent strategy that worked with many monarchs. I thought maybe that's what this is. Like, I mean, because there have always been a bunch of wolves in sheep's clothing in this movement. And, I saw like key members of the Maha movement come over, then started try to like throw shade in and try to create division. And so I don't know if this is a way of cleaning house, but I don't see a real rift happening just because, Musk is not, he's throwing out these things out there, but like with the bill and everything, but there's not a whole lot of specificity, which is unusual. And there's a real problem. It's just, I feel like there's just sort of, it's like a controlled chaos. I mean, and that's where Trump does excel, is that he turns chaos to his advantage. And so I don't know, that's sort of what I'm kicking around there. But I also wanted to speak to what we were talking about, the whole adopt a liberal. And I think it is important to engage. I'm in California, and I've gotten many liberal friends to like help see things differently. And I think part of it is realizing that this isn't just a political issue anymore. They're not trying to turn votes anymore. These are efforts. I mean, when I look at when I put on my counterterrorist hat, my investigator hat, I see like radicalization happening. This is like radicalization now, because now these are people who no longer think it's okay just to like crap talk people and make spurious allegations, but now they're thinking it's okay, now we have a moral duty to like light car dealerships on fire and things like that and create riots. And so like this is radicalization. And so I kind of been approaching it that way, and just the only way to de-radicalize people is to understand how they're being radicalized. And so I was telling my conservative friends, you got to read like Rules for Radical. This is the playbook that's been happening since Obama, and it's been working for them. And when you understand how that playbook is working, you could understand then how to engage some of these people to like who aren't really true believers, but they're just following the crowd because they're trying to. A lot of them just not don't want to get eaten up by the crowd. It's sort of like in high school where we knew it was mean to do something to somebody, but we knew if we didn't participate, we'd end up being ostracized. There was people who did that shit. And so unfortunately, it's like I see a lot of high school now in today's politics. And so I always tell people, read Rules for Radical, look at the playbook, realize the relationship between Alinsky, who wrote the book, and Obama and Hillary. And you could begin to understand how to engage these people and just start to de-radicalize them. And there is a way to do that. And so we do need to engage, especially if you're here in California. So that's kind of what I wanted to put out there.
A lot of people don't realize that California is not that blue. That's what the whole thing. We have a lot of Republicans here. The problem is the big areas where a lot of rich people live that are still Democrats. Well, They probably will switch as soon as the taxes will kick in.
I love that you talked about rules for radicals. It's actually been used as a playbook since the 60s, and a lot of it came out of Chicago, interestingly enough. The second book I commend to you is Sun Tzu, The Art of War.
There you go.
Oh yeah, I make all my students read that one as well as Musashi's Book of Five Rings. I teach my clients like martial arts and self-defense and just strategy in general. Those are required reading.
Yeah, my dad used to read Art of War to me to sleep as a kid. You know, that was a great book. Sun Tzu, love it. Also, Machiavelli by the Prince is pretty good too. Check that one out. All
Absolutely.
right, yeah, you know that Machiavelli. That's a good one. Star, you've had your hand up too long, man. I know you got carpal tunnel, but don't blame us. It's just been a busy night. How you doing tonight, Star?
Hey, Sass. Hey, Drex. And welcome to Kay. Thanks for having me up here. Let me pull up my notes here again. But yeah, first time listener, long time caller. So I'll just TLDR and say about the Trump Elon thing. I'm in theater mode. I think this is just play and show. This is like literally the first public shit posting by a president. I mean, social media is novel, but even just looking, I researched this before calling here. You've got debates that get heated, but this is a really first of firsts where you've got two powerful people just shitposting each other in public, live, and everybody's following it, and it's rocking people's socks. It's actually really awesome in my opinion. But I think it's all theater, and I'll explain. Like once Elon got talking about stuff, and Trump talking about SpaceX. I mean, it became obvious to me it was theater because there's just no other options for um, meeting the U.S.'s needs for defense capabilities. ULA is basically floundering. There are no other options besides SpaceX for keeping this country modernized and space adapt. I'm sorry I didn't really pre-plan that phrasing, but that's what really struck me as this being a play. Um, I think a lot of people kind of drew that there was um, a rift between Elon and Trump because of Doge and Elon leaving Doge, but he stated at the very beginning, 130 days. That's how long he would stay working for the government in Doge. 130 days later, he left Doge. Mainstream media was like, "Oh, something going on. Elon's leaving the government. Must be a problem between Trump and Elon." But no, that's exactly his contract was 130 days, and 130 days he left. Tesla stock is not falling, not floundering. I dropped a screenshot in the purple pill. You can see, we're still above median for Tesla stock. There's no collapse going on. Really, I think it's hilarious. I think nothing bad has happened. I don't think there's any tension. I just love the shit posting. I'm here for it. What do you think?
I'm so glad, Starsuit, that you came up and spoke tonight. And you're right. The appointment was what was for just 120, 130 days, and actually Anita Dunn in the Biden administration, whose name has come up quite a bit lately. Um, she had back to back to back appointments like that, and it's just it is a special category of government positioning that does not require Senate confirmation. So that's why it made it relatively easy for him to move in. And you're exactly right. There was nothing special about the fact that he was done and out of here. It doesn't mean that Doge is done. There are going to be several bills that are going to be coming up. One was sent to from the White House today to the Hill, specifically on Doge cuts. 9.6, I believe, billion. So it's a good start. You got to start somewhere. It's a good start. And let me see, Drax, have you been keeping track of hands? You just
I got
watching?
him. We're gonna go on down to Champ. He's headed up forever, then over to Kevin, then back up to Edward. It's like a
Cool.
twisted game of Plinko down there. Champ, what's going on, bud? Good to see you tonight.
Hey guys, yeah, a lot of interesting points of view on this Elon Trump thing. I love both guys. I think they're both intelligent, and and no, it's so yeah. I'm not taking sides or anything. I don't need stock in Tesla or any of that shit. But I'm kind of like it's entertaining. Yeah, it is kind of, but I'm just trying to. I'm just Yeah, there's a fight between Elon. This is big news today. It's a fight between Elon and Trump, and I'm just thinking of my day, dude, and like, it's like it started out the morning with lukewarm cup of coffee from the McDonald's drive-thru. I'm like, what a shitty day, and then all this stuff breaks out, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? What's going on, dude? But yeah, I just want to say this. This sounds corny, but I listen to this radio show. It's a Dan Patrick show. It's a sports deal, and like it's like they especially on a Friday, because tomorrow's Friday. So happy Friday, or I guess, well, it's almost Friday now. 15 minutes for me, but they have Meat Friday, and then they say, "Who has it better than us? Nobody." So I mean, that's us, man. That's the United States of America. Nobody has it better than us, man. So whatever this drama is, whatever, I'm just trying to stay positive about it. And I'm grateful to be an American citizen, and I love my country. So that's all I have to say about this issue. And I don't know if it's like a psyop, like everybody is saying, or some people are saying, or if it's really serious. Other people are taking it more serious, but whatever it is, it's gonna get resolved, because we're a strong country and we get past this shit. So that's all I had, guys. Thanks,
Well,
thanks for
hopefully,
letting me.
yeah,
Thank,
hopefully in the call champ tomorrow they'll work it out. Hopefully they
yeah,
can. If there is anything to work out, everybody's been topsy turvy over the issue, so we'll see what happens.
Amen, brother.
Rock and roll, man. Thanks for coming up, champ. All right, man. We'll keep it rolling here because we are coming up on the 1 o'clock hour. Be sure to share the space out, man. Make sure you're sharing it out far and wide to everybody. Quote it out. We'll repost your quote post. All right, rock and roll. It's Kevin who came up, man. Then I'll get over to Edward. Then Jason from 3D Response came in to talk to us. Kevin, John Paris, short and sweet, nice and neat. What do you got from this passage?
I just, um, I'm just going to comment on the concept of what one of the other speakers said about having fear of exposing all the corruption. I mean, you're dealing with people that are just so used to corruption that they have no conscience. Like George Soros, he has no conscience. If you ever read some of his stuff, he has no conscience. He's a sociopath. And then you got the right hand side that Elon has to deal with as well. Think about it, is that the left is not just always corrupt, but the right as well. So if you look at some of the corruption on the right hand side, you'll find that Elon's been fighting that as well. But he has to concentrate on what is in front of him and what can be cut. Economically, we'll be in it'll affect us for the next 40 years if they pass this bill, and could bankrupt us, possibly bankrupt us if they don't go with just $2 trillion instead of the five. So economically, they have to be smarter, and that's where he's having the fight with the president. But at the same time, it takes money to make money. That's what the president's thinking. So I just think that they got to find mutual ground in the scenario. I've posted some books on there for everybody to review. They're really good books. to understand society in general and the hostile stages that it's going to possibly be. I put it in the blue pill if you're interested.
Thank you. Good to drop it down there, man. Way to go, man. Purple pill down there. If you want to find that information that Kevin dropped down there, just go down there and check it out. All right, man. Let's keep rolling here. We went to Kevin. Now, Mr. Edward. Edward, how you doing again tonight?
Best day of my life. Thanks, Drex. Very interesting. These two gentlemen are bigger than life, guys. But what we all have to remember, they're from the private sector, not from the public sector. All the stuff that's going on, guys, is completely different. Guys, Donald Trump he's not a politician, man. This is a whole new world. Elon went to Washington D.C., guys. This guy run major companies. We got to realize these guys, this is a whole new world. Do you know what we've never had? We never had two public servants debating like this. These are people who are people of means and opportunity. They're risk takers. That's what they are, guys. My wife said these are private sector people. These are people that make stuff happen. They move mountains. They move companies, billions of dollars at a time, guys. We think we all got to witness a couple billionaires have a conversation publicly. That's what we got to watch. And if you really want to go and listen to some stuff, go listen to Billionaires Network. You'll hear some stuff that the average person they don't have the stomach for this stuff, guys. These men have wrists and stomachs that most people will never understand. I'm grateful to what happened today. You know why? The world got to see America debate openly of what we mean, of what we call governance. I loved it. My wife said, look what's going on. The private sector is waking up to something that most people never had. You got people who are now in the halls of government from the private sector. Very hard for people to understand because most of the people in Washington, most of them never had a job. They've never earned anything. Guys, these two men signed the front of checks. Most of Congress signed the back of it. They get the money from the public. They get the money from who? The public sector. Joe Biden never had a job in his life. You guys got to understand, we elected private sector people, guys. So for me, I'm very proud of our country. I'm proud that we're not afraid to have debate because you know why? It makes things move. I believe our founding fathers had the same kind of things going on, man. We got to all look at this and go, hey, this is good. It's not about politics, guys. This is about moving the needle. So that's what I want to share. I think that we got a good opportunity for people to wake up and realize that government sucks. And we got a couple of men that's trying to change the whole world and what happens. So to me, government sucks. Let's get back to the people.
Thank you so much, Edward, for saying that. I actually said something very similar in another space that what we're talking about is someone who has 120 days of government experience. Okay. And I'm talking about inside the hallways, okay, of government. It is a totally different thing being outside looking in versus darkening the doorway of somewhere on Capitol Hill or in the executive branch. Totally different thing. Okay. There is no sense to it. There is no common sense. You can't learn it in a book. You can't Google it. You cannot, you can't take a class in it and understand it. You have to be there because it makes no sense whatsoever. Donald Trump has got several years of experience now under his belt, but when he was first running for president, that was my concern, was he was going to run into the buzzsaw of the deep state, okay? And he had no clue what he was running into. And that's exactly why I said, Elon Musk, welcome to Washington. You just got smacked. It is imperative for you guys to understand the difference between the private sector and the public sector. Entirely different. These two snap their fingers and everything is answered for them. Any wish, any dream, any hope. The deep state looks at them and snarls and laughs and tries to slow down everything that they do. Part of The challenge here is understanding the process doesn't make sense, the people don't make sense, the deals don't make sense. None of it makes sense at all until you get there and you understand there's a reason why they call it the swamp. An absolute reason. And Edward, you are dead spanking on with that. I think Elon has just, through the 120 days, learned learned real quick exactly what it's about. And this is why I'm on X, folks, is because whatever experience I can bring in the 4 decades that I have been on the political battlefield, I want to bring it here to try and help you understand it's not always what it seems. It really isn't. And it's sometimes it's real simple. What happened? It's a conversation in a hallway. It literally isn't an elevator. It is a tiny moment in time that happens. And it is not necessarily, God, I wish that they were that smart to, I watched these folks for years and I used to think, God, I wish they were that smart to do all the things that people think they're doing. They're really not. But these two and the cabinet the president has put together is outstanding. And you have to remember, there are 4,000 political appointees. Some of them are still being approved right now. And they're up against 2.6 million career bureaucrats, 95% of whom vote Democrat, 95% of whom donate to Democrats, 100% of them want to slow down everything that Trump agenda is about.
Wow. When you first said you were talking about these two,
Hey,
wait one second. When you first said two people and their egos and you started that off, I thought you were talking about me and Roden at first. I'm glad you swapped it up.
No, it'd be you and me, baby.
hey, you both are beautiful people. But Kay, my wife worked for the city of Los Angeles for 31 years before she retired 8 years ago.
Oh, she
Water
knows.
and power. Yeah. That's why she said these
Hello?
people don't understand. She worked in the city of Los Angeles, guys. She was the senior personnel officer for 6,000
This
city
ain't
employees.
fucking California.
Don't do
Yep.
that.
she listen, this was the smallest part. Water and power lost $40 million and no one knew where it went. Thank God that the federal government just canceled the bullet train from Fresno to Los Angeles. Guys, $17 billion. And they did not lay one track. Not one. This is just pure thievery. And this is what I mean by government. Look around, whatever the government put their hands on turns to crap. Look at what Donald
Y'all
Trump has
going down the
attempted to
wrong
do.
rabbit hole.
Gavin Newsom.
Yep. But the bottom line, Kay, and I appreciate what you said, most people do not know what happens in the public sector and what happens in the private sector are two worlds of difference. And my wife always says, because it's not their money, they don't look at it as them losing anything. They just raise another penny or two pennies, and that's what they do. The people in California, and they just think, oh, it's okay. We get it from the people. But they
Yeah.
realize that these people,
Exactly.
this is
Milton
crazy.
Friedman once said, government spends whatever government receives, plus whatever else it can get away with. And I thank God that I had more experience than just working in Washington, that I worked for in the private sector. I had my own company. That gave me perspective that a lot of these folks in DC do not have. You're exactly right.
I have my liberal friends watch Milton Friedman. There's 10 1-hour sessions on free, yeah, free to choose. You guys got to look at it. And if what the gentleman talked about, Rules for Radicals, I think Kay and Drex and Sauce, I think that'd be a good book read live. And I promise you, it will get a lot of traction because people have never read it, don't know it. But this will help them understand. Like I told my wife, you work in the cesspool. I've owned my own company, guys, for 25 years, so completely opposite in our household. But the challenge that people don't understand is that the public sector has drained so much that most of the private sector do not realize this. I tell people all the time, look around the skylines of the United States of America. It was not built by government, guys. It was built by we the people.
I keep thinking that if Milton Friedman had been my economics professor, that my entire life, the entire pathway of my life would have changed. I mean, he put it in ways that I could even get.
No. Obama said it. We didn't build it. Now, come on.
Oh, that's right.
That's why I don't follow black people.
Oh my god. Rock and roll. All right, man. Let's head on over after Edward. Jason from
Did I
3D
just hear,
Response.
did I just hear what I thought I hear, Drax? Like, I mean, I don't know. I was like
I just had to
scrolling
roll it off.
I was scrolling something, and then I was like, what did I just hear? So I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear it. And
There you go. That's what I do.
You heard it. You heard it. You heard it. I don't follow. My dad used to tell me all the time. He didn't know Dr. King. He didn't know Malcolm X. He has his own dream. He has his own family. Had his own wife. I learned that from him.
okay. I was just saying though, I was fixing to say like, damn, because I mean, honestly, guys, I was reading the comments and the quote posts, and people were like, damn, this space is fire. This space is everybody's great, having a great time. And then I heard that, and I was like, well, what? I was like, well, oh my god. I was like, no, we don't do racist, guys. We don't do racist in this in this space. We
Even
just
had
don't do
Josh
it.
come up from the comments. I love it.
I know. Okay, so I yield back. And if I start acting funny, guys, it's because I'm actually genuinely funny and I like to joke around. So don't take it personal. But I'm so glad that you guys are here. I'm seriously amazed though. I'm seriously amazed that everybody is joining the space and such good people. You guys are such good. Nobody's fighting. I love it. Except for the people in the comment section, the ones that get mad. But you guys are so amazing. We haven't had any bad shit tonight, and I love it. All right, I yield backtrack. Sorry.
All right, rock and roll. Sass is having fun. We're having, DCK is having fun. You come off your mic too much, though, it won't be fun. I'll have to go down and reschedule to come back up. All right, man. Now I'm going back to Jason, man. Badass from the Boulevard. Jason from 3D Response. Good to see you up, Jason. How you doing, man? And congratulations on everything with your retirement stuff, man. I love it.
I appreciate that. I got a few more days left, but I was in a space today talking about 3D response, and evidently there's some drama going on there before I got in, and a lot of people left because of this whole Elon Musk thing, and I had no idea what was going on. But I want to backtrack a little bit. So yesterday in Minneapolis, there was actually a warrant served by the FBI in my city, and then there was a second warrant served up in Minneapolis. Well, because they're going to map Minneapolis, they asked for a bunch of backups to come in. Some of the backups were ICE, FBI, Minneapolis PD, and the community thought it was basically a immigration raid, and it wasn't. It was
Yes,
actually
I
a raid of.
saw that, Jason. Oh my god, the video is incredible.
It was actually a raid. It was a search warrant for narcotics, human trafficking, and fraud. It was money laundering. But the media put it out that, and then that it was a ICE raid, and then there was Democrats that were actually putting out that ICE is taking people from this Mexican restaurant. Well, the Mexican restaurant, to be honest with you guys, was a front of a dope operation. Everybody believed it, and people came out, believed the narrative, and started pushing back on them. So here's the problem. And if you guys look at this from I'll give you an example today. I had no idea about Elon and Trump, no idea whatever. And I went through a few signs, and what I saw was Elon posted Trump was at Epstein Island. Okay, fine. Everybody bought into that, and Democrats or people were coming out saying, you know, Jesus Christ, release the Epstein files. I have a question about that post. Do you not think after 2016, 2017, 2018, 2020, 2024, if Trump was involved in that, it would have came out way before? That's bullshit. I think those two are fucking with everybody. This is just nothing more than a political, not political, but a mind fuck on what's going on. If they had shit on Trump and Epstein, trust me, it would have came out. It's same like, so the media pushes shit out, they're pushing shit out. This is a mind fuck, in my opinion. And I'm not being left or right. I'm just saying, I looked at this. I like common sense. They're mind fucking the people right now That's my 2 cents.
Um,
They did
in,
it. Yeah, but
Jason, you're right. In fact, in 2011, Trump actually was instrumental in giving information on Epstein. And the lawyer for Epstein actually came out today, a couple of hours ago, and said, yeah, it's not true.
I don't. Elon's not lying, but his statement makes a suggestion that he was involved in this shit.
He
I
was.
again, I just think
You know how these files are, I mean, they're raw, especially FBI files. They're raw hearsay, all that discovery stuff, right?
no,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
but I
this
kind of get what he's saying.
political
It's the
shit show.
insinuation. It's the insinuation. I think that's what a lot of people are angry about is the insinuation of the Epstein. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what the hell got into those two men today. All I have to say is that, and I don't mean to cut anybody off, but it
Hey,
honestly,
Sass, I think it's a game. They're fucking with.
It all
They're
feels
fucking
like an
with public.
internal stress
well, they're
test.
they're fucking with the liberals and they're fucking with the Democrats. But guess what, guys? We're along for the ride,
Yes.
and I don't like it. I
I don't
honestly,
think this is. I don't think this is a fuck with the Democrats. I just really feel like this is an internal
None
stress
of
test
us
to see
like it.
all the people that on our side to come out and say, "Yeah, see, here's what I really think of them all along," and try to draw these
yeah.
people out.
Yeah, I'm like literally. I don't need any more. I'm just gonna tell. I'm just gonna be straight up. I don't need any more dramatic effects. I don't need any more bullshit. Like, I mean, unless if you are throwing down some arrests and we are doing shit, that's the only drama that I want to see. I don't want to see this. I mean, I know. I'm
Sass,
sorry. Go ahead.
what happened today? There's Democrats coming out right now demanding the release of the Epstein
I know
files.
it did. I know. I know. I know. And
Okay, so this whole thing is a ploy. I just think it's
I agree. I agree. I actually agree with that. But again, I mean, I agree. I agree it was a ploy. But my thought was, and this is just my opinion, I don't feel good about it. I don't when I can't con I can't agree with something or condone something when I don't feel good about it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like this.
Total bait and
I don't like
switch.
manipulation. I guess it's I just don't like manipulation and I don't like winning this way. This is not how I want to win. I want to win by honest means and measures and transparency and I don't like psyops. I if this it was a psyop, if this honestly genuinely was which I'm leaning towards, um I just don't like it. I don't like it because I want to that's just me. You don't have to agree with me. I just want to win the right way.
I think it was a psyop I think it was a psyop for the good side.
I agree, Sass, and that is absolutely a noble position to take, and you aren't wrong. But it's unfortunate that we are dealing with people who have bent the rules, thrown the rule book away, and so we have someone here in at the Resolute desk in the Oval Office who is a showman. Okay, he's not an ideologue. And he has such an innate sense of timing for all of this. Um, and I honestly don't know. Now I can tell you that possibly tomorrow night I might have some more information because I've got someone very close to me who's going to be in the same room with a lot of those DOJ, FBI people. So I'm hoping that I will get some really good information on a lot of this and some White House folks too. Um, and so hopefully tomorrow night, latest Monday night. But
Well, definitely,
I
I'm
should have something
definitely
for
going
you.
to be follow. Well, I'm following because I know the pub chat is on tomorrow, but it is tomorrow, right? Wait, what's today? What?
Actually, that's what I've been waiting till the end to ask you, Sass. Are you going to be around at 9 tomorrow? Because
Yeah,
we,
I'm gonna
yeah,
be
are
around.
you?
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely
Oh,
be
cool.
around tomorrow. I mean, after this shit, I've been trying to
Yeah.
stay away
We,
for. I wasn't even planning on doing this tonight, but it just happened because you know what fucking
I'm
happened.
so
So
glad you
yeah,
did though.
okay.
But you know what? My son is with Ken Walls and
Yeah, and tomorrow night.
Drax.
Yeah, Sass, I was going to tell you tomorrow night. We wanted you to come with us. We're going for pub chat up at Ken's studio there where he does his podcast. So we're going to be live from there at 9 o'clock.
okay,
And we're going to come back to Twitterville afterwards, and make sure we open up some kind of after space like we do. But we're going to be with Ken, JRK. Now I know you're coming, Sass, Rhoda, and me, and Buck.
yeah.
All of us are going up to Ken's studio
Buck,
tomorrow.
Drax, I have an idea. Can we just discuss it right here?
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, well.
Uh
Before
oh.
before we do that, can we get to Grizzly? I know he's had his hand up, so
Oh,
but yeah, we could do that. Actually, we'll talk about that next, guys. But my gosh, we still have one, two, three, four, five hands. But let's do that, Ken, because I need to know what the plan is. I don't know what the fuck we're doing, but all I know is that I am a supporter. I'm part of the pub chat team. I feel like I'm part of the pub chat team. I
You
may
are
not
probably.
be, I may not be the general manager or anything, but I love being a speaker, in the pub chat because I support Drax and Kay and everybody else. I love you guys. I love Rodin and Rodin's living room. We're all good friends and we all support each other. So and Ken, he does his live. So guys, it's best, when you got friends, support them, don't get jealous of each other, be there for them and lift them up. That is the best policy. But I do, and I don't mean to cut anybody off, but I do want to get to Grizzly because I did see the hand up and yeah, so but we will talk about that, Ken, really, really shortly. We're trying to get through hands.
Thanks, Seth. So I'll be quick because I want to know what the plan is too. So I'm with Jason. I think it is a great big mind fuck. I think that Trump learned from his first term that he can't just fight with the swamp. He has to play the game a little bit, even when he doesn't want to. So that's what he's doing now. And I've been asking myself for 2 weeks, why is Trump so excited about this bill? The Doge cuts aren't in there. It doesn't make any sense. And that's what's happening here, in my opinion. Uh, Trump is playing the game, and Elon is they're playing good cop bad cop, right? Trump's playing the game and Elon's putting the word out like fuck you guys, that's a bullshit bill, and he's trying to build uh, critical mass from the public to put pressure on Congress, and that's my take on that.
Hey,
And
Grizzly.
I'll land there.
I got to tell you, the reason why the Doge cuts are in the bill is because it is a rescission bill, and they cannot be in that bill, and it wouldn't be able to be passed by 50 votes versus 60. Okay. Now the White
Yeah,
House sent its first bill up today of Doge cuts. It's the first of many that are going to go up, and it's 9.6 billion in cuts.
right. Yeah, but there's more there. But I anyway, that's my take on it. We'll wait and see if I'm right or wrong. But that's what I believe is going on. There's no way that those two are fighting like this. That's just defies reality.
This is exactly why they're fighting, is because the Dodge cards are going to where? Okay?
Okay,
Okay, where
they're
they
in
go.
a house. They're in House committees right now. They were
Okay,
sent up today.
who is on those committees?
Uh, we have a very slim majority on those committees.
Exactly. So what did he need? He needed to get Democrats on his side, right?
I don't know that that's going to get him on his side, but it
They
certainly is a
already start
distraction.
singing that they agree with Elon Musk.
Yeah,
Well,
no, they wanted him gone about a month ago. They wanted him out.
he was only going to be there for 120 days, so
Is it
Wow.
possible that this big beautiful bill and this conflict, this is all about trying to figure out who really needs to be primaried from our side before an actual bill that's been planned gets put forward?
Um, yes and no. Look, a lot is determined in House races in particular by the actual drawing of the districts. I'm going to do a space at some point about redistricting because we need to be ready for it. And we need to literally educate folks on why it's important and why the census and why redistricting and how gerrymandering works and all of that, right? But 90% of a race, 90% of a House race is determined when that pencil hits the paper and they draw those lines. In the Senate, well, both in the House and in the Senate, you have to understand the campaign history of the district. You have to understand the makeup of the district, what the gerrymandering is, or the state. What are the numbers there? How far does it go back? What are the trend lines? And then, are they good candidates? Are they fundraisers? Are they good at messaging? Are they good on their feet? All of this plays into it. So it's not as simple as we don't like them. We don't like them, therefore they got to go. It's not that simple. The calculus is a bit more involved. I'm pretty sure they already know who needs to go down and how to do it, if not even in this cycle, for the next couple of cycles as well. Remember also that the Senate, it's staggered. So it's a third, a third, a third every 2 years. And so they have 6-year terms, but they're staggered. So FYI.
Right, Miss K's on fire tonight. She is always on fire. So if we got 4 up, we're gonna knock 4 down. I'm gonna go over to Wayne and work my way back down. Wayne, short and sweet, nice and neat after the 1 o'clock hour here in Twitterville.
That looks easy. I worked for the guy for a little bit, and that's another story. But I'm going to have a couple of things. First off, I'm going to have a joke. The joke is, what's a far-sighted gynecologist and a puppy have in common?
I'm going to be afraid to ask this, but what do they have in common, Wayne?
A wet nose.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody think about that. But anyway, that's I always have to have a joke because I think I got started on that earlier. I think in this joining this group, I think I can have one. I think if they permit, especially Kay, I'll do one here and there. But anyway, that was good. I think everybody liked what was it, which one did I do, the doll thing. That was a good one. But anyway, so the second thing I have to say is I can't believe, like I said earlier, that Elon Musk would do that without. I mean, I can't believe he would do that in the first place. But I have 54 follows of Elon Musk on me, and that kicked in today. And every one of those started asking me all kinds of things, and it was weird. And then this happened. But I believe Kay. I think Kay's got it hit. She's got it. Uh, I think she's got it on. It's not it. It's somebody else, or what do you call it when somebody gets? I don't know. What do you call it? Spade or whatever the terminology is. But it's insane. There's no way a fellow engineer that I've worked for or worked with would say something like that. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. It just doesn't make any sense because we're not like that. We're not that political in the first place. We're engineers. We I don't know. I mean, I can't. I mean, he is what he is. I'm not. I mean, I'm, God forbid, I'm not a multi-billionaire, but I'm an engineer and I understand where he comes from and I understand the things he does. But I just can't imagine that he would do that personally. I mean,
Well, he's
I just,
probably an INTJ on the Myers Briggs scale, and then you add
right.
in the Asperger's.
Well, Asperger. I mean, my son is Asperger's. He's right on that edge, and he's an idiot, but savant. I mean, he's a smart ass son of a bitch, but he would never. He was. I raised him not to do that. I mean, he's a proper 100% gentleman. He would not do that. I mean, I just don't understand.
Yeah.
If I don't know if I'm getting it across properly or not, but I mean that's just insane. That's just stupid. I mean, what does that do for the downside
Yeah.
for his cause or the upside of his cause? I mean, it doesn't do anything for his stocks or whatever, but I mean it just doesn't make any sense. So where did it come from? I'm done.
Rock on, Wayne. All roads lead to tomorrow, though. We see if they talk, they make up. We'll have
Right.
somewhat of an idea of what's going on, right? So all
So
roads lead to tomorrow,
what
man.
I'm with Kay, but and there's Ken and I think there's something else. I mean, a bunch of folks on there. I think we all we're all on the same page. I think something's screwy here.
We will find out, man. Everybody's looking for the answers. Thank you, Wayne. We'll find out tomorrow. All right, guys, we got 3 hands up, so 3 up, 3 down. I'm gonna go seniority first to Consigliere Buck. Buck, go ahead, and then we'll get to the other 2. What do you think?
Thanks, Drax. I'll keep it short and sweet because the other guys were definitely waiting longer than me. But yeah, Jason, you're 100% right. The more I think about this, I do know that there were quite a few Democrats that were always kind of blocking a little bit, not wanting the Epstein list to come out, or they never paid attention to it. Now you got a handful of them screaming for it, but notice the ones that aren't screaming for it. Those are the ones probably on the list. So I also agree with Sass that if that's what they did, yeah, it's a little bit much, but I think there's definitely something to that. So I agree with you, Jason. Thank you very much. And Sass, awesome space, huh? Way to go, Drax and K.
Thank you, brother Buck.
Yeah, it's a great space. I'm so sorry, Drex. I don't mean to cut you off. Real quick.
No, you're fine, bud.
Real quick, like I said, I'm gonna have to repeat this again, but we are having a very good space. Everybody's having a great time. Dennis Blacker, I don't know what the fuck you are upset about. You look like a Trump supporter based off of your profile, but you was so nasty in the comments. And Drax, he said that we didn't have a lot of numbers until he joined, but yet he's never had a microphone. He's never had a microphone, and he was actually going to get one. He was going to get one,
Oh my
but
goodness.
now with him being nasty, like he's saying we're
Oh
fucked.
my God.
We don't know shit.
His
Y'all have it
booze is
all
kicking
wrong,
in.
and I'm just
His
sitting
booze
here.
is kicking in.
I know I shouldn't
Kick his ass
read.
out.
I shouldn't read the comments, but guys, the part of being a good space host is you actually read the comments in your comment section. So if anybody has something, because there's a lot of people that are very gung ho, very shy about being on the mic. They don't want to. So sometimes they ask questions in the comments that they want to address. So here I am. I'm addressing them. But this guy literally has done lost the fucking plot in the comments and saying that, just attacking it. And guys,
Where's that?
there's no need in the comment section in the space. There's no need for you to be ugly. There just isn't. Listen, we're all having fun. We're all talking. Some of us have been really concerned today over what happened. But right now we're in a great space full of good people with good intentions. And I really, really think that if you want to be ugly and nasty, you need to go find you a space that's going to give you that. Because we're not doing that here. So I'm going to boot you. If I see one more comment, I'm definitely going to boot you and I'm going to block you. And then you won't ever see my spaces again. And you know what? That will give me some type of vindication because I'm a petty bitch. So, anyways, who are we going to next, Drax?
Don't want to risk that. I'll tell you that, man. It's like getting hit by a Mack truck. Don't risk it, right, kid?
100%. And if Sass will have to stand in line behind me, I'm not going to take any incivility in here. And believe you me, you'll see a whole nother side of Kay Daly.
I've seen it a couple times. It was spooky. All right, man. Let's head on down. We got 2 hands up. They've waited a while. Don't want to give them carpal tunnel. We'll go to Thomas and then over to Marcus. Thomas, how you doing tonight? And welcome to the Sassy Saloon.
Hey, thanks for the mic. Really great space. I've been following Sassafras for quite a while. I got in a debate with Cynical Pubulus about this big, beautiful bill. He kind of, he had a post that went pretty viral. He was asking all the MAGAs rallying behind Thomas Massey, who I like a lot of what Thomas Massey has to say. And I commented, I made a kind of offhand comment. He actually replied, and we got into kind of a debate. But I said, slashing $4 trillion from the federal revenue through tax provisions and adding $3 trillion in annual deficit doesn't sound like the perfect solution to address our $36 trillion national debt. And he's like, well, what's your solution? And he's pretty upset, a lot of all caps and stuff. But it's like, ignore the fact that the bill appeared to move to the House vote before all details were fully resolved and negotiations were still ongoing all the way up to the Rules Committee stage. And that, the omnibus bills and unchecked pork are a substantial part of the problem we see with the funding going to the bad, nefarious purposes like the U.S. aid and all of this different. There's a plethora of situations where it goes to the wrong place. Look at the $50 billion that's gone to Afghanistan. A lot of that's gone into the hands of bad people, along with the $30 billion to Pakistan. But color me conservative, but I think that there are easy, definitive steps that could have been made by Congress to decrease the national debt rather than increase it. And I think that there's just a systemic lack of attention to the detail that needs to be taken to make that happen. A good example is the aid that went to Ukraine. It really chaps my hide to hear the Republicans complain and lament the aid to Ukraine when Congress has the authority to block all of that stuff through a joint resolution, and they failed to do so. There's a thousand different examples of that, but I think that what we have is like when you have a system like with this Alex Karp guy and this Palantir. I think it's devastating to see like that guy talk on interviews and say, basically Palantir was behind the fall of the far right in Europe, and that they basically pushed the COVID vaccine. And I'm not sure how everybody feels about the COVID vaccine or whatever, but there's a certain level of we talk about the World Health Organization and the global, however you want to say it. There's a tremendous amount of those people that are in the party and are so critical in making these decisions like this, that the not messing with AI. This comes from like this Stargate thing with Larry Ellison and Sam Altman, and just these powerful Peter Thiels and the Alex Karp, like I said. But these are kind of nefarious actors, and just to look at the money that we have going overseas and away from the American people when we have situations like the 19,000 homicides a year. Rain states that there's a sexual assault every 68 seconds in this country. There's over 40,000 homeless veterans. And of our active service community, 17 service members commit suicide every day. It's just such a failure to have Congress sit on their hands with the aid flowing away, and like this feud, this thing is I think you guys brought up some amazing points about how this could definitely, they have rallied some Democrats for releasing the Epstein files and doing the Dodge cuts, which is, if that is the play, it's genius, really. But when you look at what is going on just on a systemic level across the board, really, I think that we need to pool our resources as a people and start, getting our really providing for ourselves in a way that the government really hasn't. And I think like a way to do that would be like these conversations, like getting people informed, knowing the bad players, and then maybe something like the what is it? It's the consensus of states, where there's 19 states currently involved with this situation. It's a convention of states. Sorry, I misspoke. It's basically enacting Article 5 of the U.S. Constitution. If 34 states get together, they can propose amendments bypassing a corrupt Congress. That's basically the foundation of the ruling of this thing. It's a check on federal overreach. The federal budget's at $7 trillion annually, 26 years of failed audits, the regulatory bloat, all of this stuff that they really can address. And as we have some really intelligent, smart people who have just been bought, and they've been, there's systems of blackmail, and there's financial systems, and there's just power plays. There's people who want to be a part of the system and whatever, level up, or but I think that if we were to pool our resources, do something like this convention of the states, we need 15 more states. I think it'd be a great way to try to take back some of the power that belongs to the people. Really, our public servants are not serving the public. But thank you so much. I hate to get.
Thomas, real quick.
Love you guys.
You're talking about the convention of states. Hold on. First of all, you talked about COVID too. Like, don't even get me started. Before this whole shit happened with Elon and Trump today, I've been on a bender for 2 days about COVID because of what happened to my mom. So that was crazy. I had a lot of people that just, it's whatever. But the convention of states, and that is something like people have been trying to get the states to sign on. I signed it. I signed it in Florida 2 years ago. We've been talking about this, as far as I know, for 2 years. And I don't
20,
understand. Huh? 20 years?
20 years
Okay.
at least, if not longer.
Well, for me, the first time I heard about it was like 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, and I signed on 2 years ago. And I'm still like, I keep hearing the same thing. We need like 15 more states, 16 more states. And I'm like, my God, why is it not getting done? I mean,
Because
look.
it's in the Constitution that you have to do a convention of the states. And I always get this backwards. Brig, I hope he's in the audience because he can always tell me. It's I think it's 2/3 of the states have to approve it, or maybe it's 3/4. And then it has to go to Congress for whatever ratifications to be approved. And again, it's a super majority that has to happen there.
So pretty much we're fucked, right?
No, no, it's just look. I know that there are arguments on both sides, Sass. One argument says, "Oh my God, if they're going to eradicate the Constitution, and oh dear God, they're going to do this with the Second Amendment and the First Amendment." You can actually, there was an Office of Legal Policy in the Justice Department study that said that constitutionally you can actually limit what the Convention of States subjects are, and lock off the rest of it. So it's an idea. There are folks like Mark Levin and all kinds of constitutional scholars out there who think it's one of the ways to go to get some things done. Especially things like term limits, and I'm fine with the concept of term limits as long as you term limit the staff as well, because otherwise you will empower the staff, because they go from staff to staff to staff to staff to lobbyist to university to and back to a think tank, and then back to a staff, and then to an administration. It is a round robin. Um, and so you have a bunch of new folks up there who don't even know where the bathroom is, but good God, let's make sure we have some experienced staff in place, right? Well, we know what that means.
Experienced staff. Okay, Bailey's on a roll. Sass is on a roll. We got 2 hands to go. All right, man. They had their hand up for a while. We don't want to get carpal tunnel because we don't even got insurance on the saloon. Mr. Snyder, how you doing tonight?
Pretty good. Got carpal tunnel.
I bet you do, man. It's kind of, it's time to go down there and use a massage thing on it a little bit. It'll be better.
I just wanted to say, Sassafras, I've been listening to you for a long time. I love you. Um, Kudos to William Garrison, who's listening in the comments. He's a friend of mine. I love him dearly. Um, this whole Trump Elon thing, I don't think it's what we think it is. I think it's something more. Um, I just seen the representative of Michigan come out and he's like, "Oh, we need to release the Epstein files." Now they're all wanting to release the Epstein files. What do you guys think about that?
Well, Kay, it's a Michigan person saying we need to release them. So I'm going to say what Kay always said about the Epstein
It's
files,
that
that they have to
Arabic
do it right.
dude.
We can't rush into anything, right? We can't rush
Well,
into anything.
It's the
part
Arabic
of it,
dude. I don't even know his
The
name.
Arabic dude. Yeah, you said Michigan, so that's where one of the squad is from too. The Omar lady.
No, she's from
it's
Minnesota.
Was she from
it's
Minnesota? Which one's up here in Michigan? I thought one of the squad members were Michigan.
We got that Arabic dude. I don't even know his name.
Oh
I
my God! Dude,
don't
why
even
do
know
we
how he
vote these
got
people?
here. Don't know how he got into position. But
Dearborn.
yeah, the
Dearborn,
Dearborn
yeah,
dude.
Dearborn. Yeah,
Mark, I
yeah.
will tell you this. The Epstein files, Trump is part of the reason why Epstein was charged at all. And in fact, the Epstein lawyer came out a few hours ago and said that. I
I
will
know.
also tell you that the great part about all of this is, yeah, it is part of the discussion. But I will tell you that we have to be really careful in releasing it because these are raw files. And goodness gracious me, I would really hate to think that anyone on X might jump to conclusions if raw discovery files were put out there. That never happens now, does it?
I'm just
Uh,
wondering why the leftists going for it now. They
Um,
didn't want it before.
Hail
well, they
Marys.
didn't, but they're taking the bait. What else do they have? I mean, look at the corner they painted themselves in. They've doubled down on every stupid 10% supported idea that's out there. And what else are they going to talk about? Are they going to talk about these books that have come out? Are they going to talk about Biden's mental acuity? Are
I
they
think
going to
it's
talk
part of the
about?
play.
Yeah, look, Trump is a showman, right? He's not an ideologue. He's a showman, and he likes to win. That's what drives him. So he isn't your typical average politician by a long shot, but he's learned. Okay, he's learned not only how to get over, around, and under and behind a wall.
So is
He
Elon.
exactly. Well, no, he's only, remember, Elon's only got 120 days, so he's learning from the master. If this is what in fact is happening, I don't know that that's what's happening, Mark, but what I can tell you is I should know something. I've got some feelers out, and hopefully I'll know something tomorrow night. But in the meantime, there are cases out there with the Epstein files that are still ongoing in both St. Thomas and New York, and possibly, I think, other locations as well. And they have to make sure that what they're releasing is at least as accurate as they can make it. I don't trust the Biden FBI, do you? So you got to go over
Oh,
it with a fine tooth comb.
Hey, can I interject real quick?
Of course.
It's just it's more of a common sense thing. Um, if you think that the Epstein files were available in 2016, if the left did not want Trump to be president, they got after him in every way,
exactly.
shape, or form.
100%.
It would have already came out when that we're being played with. They're setting up, and now you're seeing
And they
these.
tried that already with like that doctored photo way back when. I mean,
I don't know what that means. I'm just saying, from a common sense point of view, if Trump is on the Epstein logs, it would have already came out. That's why
Yep.
when Elon posted that, I'm going, they're playing with us.
I-
That's what
And
I
now you
thought too,
have
dude.
Democrats
You
going,
may not be
release.
wrong in this. I mean, remember during this whole Russia thing, right? They came out and said that he was with some harlot, some hooker in Russia, and golden showers everywhere. Uh, they neglected to understand that Trump is also a germaphobe. That would never
And
happen.
Melania's
So,
freaking hot. No offense.
right? Who would cheat on that? Love of God. But you're exactly right. And you're right too, Jason. I don't have proof on any of that. That's a good common sense gut reaction. My dad used to always say that the most obvious story is the one that's never true, and he's not wrong. Um, but I want to get confirmation because truth is very important to me, and so I want to get confirmation from folks who would know, and hopefully by tomorrow night I will have that.
I'm not sure I see the
Kay's
win
fixing
in
to
this
have,
whole
listen,
releasing the file.
Kay is fixing to have some tea tomorrow night. I just fucking know it, guys. So if you are not tuned into the pub chat at 9 p.m., then what are you doing with your life? Because it is going to be fucking amazing. I know it. She's going to have that tea tomorrow. She's going to have some type of tea. She ain't going to come to the pub chat without any. She never does. She always comes, you know, um, with information, never empty handed. So I'm going to yell back.
Why are people pushing for the Epstein files to be released? So,
Because
They've
as an
done it for
investigator
people,
they've
myself
done
and a
it this
journalist,
way.
I get that law enforcement can hold things to the vest too closely. But if we're trying to get prosecutions, I don't see how dumping an entire case file to the public is going to get that. I'd rather see
You
the
know,
well, they
prosecutions.
want to see people
factor.
held accountable. There are
Yeah.
children that were sexually trafficked and people were
Right.
murdered.
So,
Yeah,
but by exposing all that to the public for consumption, it seems like it's that could compromise
Yes,
that ability.
exactly.
Exactly.
That's my concern. It's
Exactly.
So
like, so
many
why push for
politicians
this?
on the
You
list. It's retarded.
Yeah, and
All right, you guys. I
you
got
have
two
to
hands
understand
though.
how an
So.
the whole
investigation
thing.
works. It's not.
Exactly.
Another factor
Go ahead,
You
Jason.
have to.
gotta be
Sorry.
I don't know what's coming off mic.
You
You
have.
guys quit coming off mic. Let Jason finish talking, then I'll get to the next two hands. If you guys got something to say, raise it up. Go
I
ahead,
really
Jason.
apologize. You
Go
have
ahead,
to
Jason.
understand how an investigation works. I worked narcotics for years. It's all about going to the bigger fish. So if you're talking about
Exactly.
a corrupt society or a corrupt RICO Act and all this stuff. It takes time. You're not going to release information until you get to the actual top of that. So what I am guessing what's going on is there's been a very, very long investigation going on to get to the bottom of everything, but you have to cut the head of the snake off. To get there, you have to flip, 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 flip. So I've done 2 cases in my life where it was almost a 4-year investigation that actually led back to the cartel. So what I'm looking at this from a different perspective, and everybody looks at the media and everybody looks at this is going on, they have opinions, but if you actually break it down, there's actually there's a method going on here that I'm seeing that I truly think something big is coming. And the reason that information hasn't come out yet because they're not ready to release it because the investigation is not done. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah, I think you're right. I've been saying it forever, man. If they take down one person, they alert everybody in this operation, they start dumping stuff. They're not going to be dumping drugs. We know what they'll be dumping. They got to do it right. All right, rock and roll, man. We got 4 up. We'll get 4 down. Going to brother Buck first. Buck, what's up?
Hey, I just wanted to say real quick, and yes, I agree with Jason 100%. Off the topic just for a second. Everybody in here, if you're not following Sassafras, you definitely should be, and here's why. She is the nicest, largest account on X. She will help anybody within reason. She's always good to people. She's very kind. She's funny as fuck, too. But she is a sweetheart. And if you're not following her, you should be. And if you are following her, you're coming into her room and you're being nasty. Well, you know what? Fuck off. Go find another room because you're wasting your time. This woman is awesome. And she's my sister. So I watch out for her. Everybody should be following Sass. Love you, Sass. I'll end there.
Oh, hey, Ken, you had a plan before we
Yeah,
go back to hands.
yeah, we were going to talk about that. I wanted to make sure we get to it before
We
we get to it.
yeah, we definitely had a plan to talk about it, but I do want to
Yeah.
tell real quick, Buckster, thank you so much. I was actually just reposting something real quick because this person blocked me in the space because I didn't let them up. And again, guys, I'm not being ugly. When the space goes viral, I can't get, like, we at one point had like 20 hands up that were requesting mics. You only see a percentage. So again, nobody is trying to ignore you. I think we've rotated mics so quick tonight, faster than, Kamala Harris can probably change her underwear. You know what I'm saying? Like we just
Ew.
yeah, well, I know. I just top of my head shit because I was thinking about Kamala a minute ago. But anybody, I just want to say real quick, anybody in this chat, such as me, Drax, Kay, Roden, Ken, Buckster, everybody, we are all part of a network where we support each other and we go to each other's spaces and we do the stuff. And we're not ugly. We never try to make people feel like they're not welcomed or they're not allowed to have a mic. We don't do things based off of popularity. Obviously, if we have Scott Presler or Ryan Fournier, who happens to pop into our spaces quite late at night, Derek Evans, people like that are January 6th and, political, they come in, naturally we're going to want to give them a mic. Brandon Straka. It doesn't mean that they're any better than you. It just means that, they have a bigger platform, a voice, and they have something to say if they come into our space. So we want to give them, obviously, a microphone and give them, attention to address whatever, people want to ask them, because there are people that come to actually these spaces. And I'm sorry, I don't mean to drag it on, but I'm saying people come to these spaces so they can actually ask them because they feel like,
They have
some people,
information.
yeah, or some people are just not addressable. And here's the thing is, like, what my goal is? I want to tell you guys what my goal is. I would love to be a person, and I know Kay will do it and Drax will do it. Like, Ken will do it. We want to be the type of people that we can get a congresswoman or man on a space to talk to you, so you guys can ask the questions. And it's not going to be just, the elite that gets to ask it, or the bigger accounts, or whatever you guys deem fit, whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of ugliness on X right now. I want to be able to provide a space where if I could get somebody on, that everybody has the opportunity without overwhelming the person that is, gonna be part of the space. So just so you know, if people come in randomly that have big followings that are, big in our conservative movement, it's not that we're being ugly towards you or we're not getting to you. It's just that we have that many people that are requesting mics that we are trying to give everybody a fair chance. And if we skipped over you or didn't see you, it's not on purpose. So I really think that some people need to take a step back and realize that it's not as easy as you think it is in your head, what you think is going on in spaces or follows and all this stuff with X. It's not that serious and it's not that deep. We are literally just trying to, I know I am, and I know the people that are in this space with me, they do the same thing on their spaces. They're trying to give you an option to speak because we don't do popularity contests. Every single person on this panel right now, I can tell you right now, does not do popularity contests. We will bring people up that have a bigger platform to get the message across and so that you can ask them what they're doing. But be nice, guys, be kind, because it's really rough, and I'm okay with constructive criticism and I'm okay with criticism, but when you constantly get it 24/7 and people misconstrue what you're doing, it's very disheartening. It's very disheartening. And then you're going to make people not want to do these spaces, even though we were actually just trying to help you. So that's all I want to say. Ken, let us up, let us know what is going on. And then I know we have Brigham Thomas that still have a hand up, but go ahead, Ken.
I just was going to talk to Drax real quick, and there's the option of doing both at the same time, Drax. But that may not make sense. We can do the live. So I think tomorrow night for the first time we're gonna live stream the pub chat, and are we including our videos?
Fine by
Of
me.
course. Yeah. Fine by me. Everything, man. The big price.
Yeah.
Great. It's going to be
Okay.
awesome anytime.
I've never done
Everything.
a
Bring
live
them in.
stream without video, except for on that show last week on the grand jury thing. I've never not had my video on a live
There we
stream.
go.
So
So everybody dial up, man. I want you to wear your best.
yeah. Well, I'll have a black T-shirt on probably, but
A rhino removal
anyway. So
t-shirt, baby.
yeah, we're gonna do that, and we're gonna live stream the pub chat, and who knows? I might be able to get a famous actor to jump in with us or something. Never
That'd be
know.
lovely.
Yeah, I know somebody that likes to live stream that
All
does a
right.
lot of
Kick ass.
movies. So yeah, it'll
Well,
be
I
fun.
well,
He
I'm
wouldn't have
loving
to do
I'm loving
Transformers,
the
right?
live stream. Like, look what Drags did. Like, all these people came in, and he's like, "We've got 2,400 people in here," and I'm like,
Yeah, we got.
"Are you fucking kidding me?" I'm like, "Oh
They
my
like that
god."
listening option. They like the listening option. Some people don't like to go into spaces.
Yeah, yeah, and you know what? And that's the thing, guys, is like somebody was very ugly in my comments, so I made a post actually a minute ago. I promise you, just like what I just said, we aren't trying to, nobody is more important than somebody else. I just want you guys to know, whether you have one follower or you have a million followers, nobody is more important than the other. We are hosting spaces. It doesn't mean that, that we think we're better, but we do have to run a space kind of, professional and, keeping it on track, on point, and even myself, like, do you know how many times, like, Drax and Kay and everybody, you guys know me, I'll be texting, and, I get off point so quickly. I get off point so quickly, but we do this for you guys, and, we're just not trying to be ugly. So please don't be ugly in our comment sections. Please don't tell us that, we're only putting certain people up, on this panel. We're trying. We try. X, like, blame X. They only give us what, like 10 spots? That's all we get, guys. Um, so just be nice. I don't know. I see it so much. Like, people get so much shit and it's unreal. Be nice. So I'm gonna yield back.
Hey, Sass, I like that you read the room and that you read the comments, and your heart is obvious. I mean, you are someone who says what you mean what you say. Your character is obvious, so you really don't need to explain anything to anybody. But I admire that you do try. But really, I just hope that you don't let that get into your
Well,
heart at all,
I
because you have
care
an
about
awesome character.
people.
Like,
I care
Uh,
about people,
yeah, you
and a
do. I
lot of
know.
people don't see that, or I don't know,
No,
like
I
people.
think
the
the one. I think
authenticity comes through.
Yeah, I think it does come through anybody who's really reasonable. And there are just some people who are just attention whores or just trying to troll a room
Yeah.
anyways. And I wouldn't worry about. I mean, I see your character. I respect and admire you. I don't even take it
Well,
personal that
thank
all these months you
you.
haven't followed me back. I don't cry about it.
I haven't followed you back. Are you
But
kidding me? I thought I did. If I
that's
have
fine. No,
not,
I know. I didn't
okay,
mean
so
to.
here's the deal. Here's the deal,
That's
guys. I'm
because
gonna do
she's a
this right
hater.
now. I'm gonna post in the comment section,
I
like this
saw.
comment. If I no, like this comment if I haven't followed you back, and I will until I get restricted again. I'm sorry. I try to follow
Don't want
everybody
to
else.
apologize. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
I know. I
No,
know.
I
And I
know,
saw
but
that
I
your
really
account
do
got messed
try
with
to
a few
follow.
times
I do
already
try
and
to.
stuff.
I feel so bad. I really do try to follow everybody back.
Don't.
I just
I'm
You know
want.
what would
I'm
be
fucking
helpful,
with you.
Sass? I think if more folks even tried to host or co-host a space, they
Yes.
would then understand like
Yes.
what goes on, right?
It's work.
Yes.
It's work.
I didn't know. I didn't know what went on until I hosted one for the first time, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It wasn't actually. I didn't even know what structure was until Drax. I didn't know what structure was in the space. We were just all just like flipping, blah, 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 blah. And it was probably a lot of females just yapping. But then Drax was like, "No, we have to have structure and balance." And I was like, "All right, that's cool." So listen, I'm
He's the
figuring.
best teacher in the
Yeah, I'm
world.
figuring it out. I'm figuring out the same way that you guys are. I'm totally figuring it out. But I just don't want people to be so disheartened. Like this is actually today was a very crazy day, and this was actually a space that needed to be held, and people, and yeah, other spaces are doing it too. And I don't care about what their agenda is, but I'm telling you here, everybody just wanted to talk, and we want to vent things out. We're frustrated. I mean, I know I'm frustrated. And I just don't want people being ugly in the comments, and I see it, and I'm like, dude, you don't have to be like that. Don't be like that, because we're not like that here. We're trying. So, I know we still have got some hands up. Holy shit! It just keeps going. So let's go again. Again, we're rotating.
We got a lady down there. She's had her hand up for a while, so we didn't want to go ladies first. I am political junkie. What do you got for us? Good to see you.
Hi, thanks. This is my first time talking on here. I wanted to tell you, Sassafras, that I'm a Cuban like your husband. I know I heard you say that your husband is Cuban, but I work in mental health, and I just wanted to share with you guys with I was on another group earlier tonight, and there was a guy on there who owns a lumber company, and he said that Elon is one of his clients. Um, he's done work for him and stuff before, and he said what he knows of Elon and his personality is that Elon is a kind of a facts guy, and then the bottom line that he doesn't like to mess with a lot more than that. And so his interpretation was that Elon, after doing all this work and stuff on Doge, seeing everything that happened with the Tesla cars and everything, and then having the bill be a lot higher than what he was anticipating, that he just couldn't deal with it. And with mental health, even though people are looking, I obviously don't know the bigger picture, but as far as the mental health component, I mean, what you saw coming out of Elon's mouth and the stuff he's put online, that is very, very typical of somebody with Asperger's. They could be very smart, great business people, but there'll be aspects of their life where they literally regress and are like a little kid. And I just think Elon, in other circumstances, is used to being the top dog when he makes decisions on things. And here, in working with something with the president of the United States, he's not going to be able to make all those decisions on his own. So I think what you saw was a true frustration on his part, and how it's almost like they were seeing behind the curtains. I mean, this could be like how he deals with a lot of things when he gets frustrated. And then on Trump's end, he definitely does have that narcissistic personality traits, and he can sound very presidential at times, but if that right button gets pushed, it's going to be almost automatic what comes out of his mouth. So obviously he was triggered by the things that Elon said, and he held it together for like the first couple comments that Elon made, but after that it's the same thing. You see how Trump is in real life in conversing with people when somebody triggers, that part of him. So like I said, I don't know the bigger picture and all the stuff that you guys, probably know as far as political wise, but mental health wise, I think what we saw with both of them was not some genius plan of and not some big you know after story of looking at things. I think that's how they really deal with things. And that's all. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming up, man. First time. We got a lot of people first time speaking up here tonight.
Yeah, welcome.
Really, yeah, it's good to see you guys, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, you finally guys are coming up taking a mic. It's always good to have new people, man. That is badass. I know
That is
Sass loves to
so
hear from you.
exciting. And then Drax just said that we are number one right now. So, you know what? Yeah, I'm glad. You know what? I will keep this space going. I'm tired as hell, but I'll keep this space going if you guys want to keep coming up and talking. But like if it gets to like 3 o'clock in the morning, then like I'm probably like dead. But yeah, I'm so glad that you guys are coming up and talking. This is just it's fucking amazing. I think today was just a rough day though, Drax, right? It was I think everybody was just so shocked.
I mean, yeah, even my own father called me today and he goes, you know about Trump and Elon? I'm like, oh goodness, now the independent one's getting on me. So this has just got the whole country topsy-turvy. I'm like everybody else. I'm waiting to see what happens. I put my faith in President Trump. That's who I voted for 4 times. So I got to. No choice. All right, man, we got them hands up. We do want to keep it rolling around here. Let's go over to somebody we haven't heard from tonight. Mr. Brigg, how are you doing, brother?
Pretty good, Drax, Kay, Sass. To answer your question, Kay, constitutionally, it takes 2/3 of the states to request a convention. To make that very clear, request a convention. But it only takes a majority in both houses of Congress to call a convention, in which afterwards 3/4 of the states have to ratify the convention. Here is where it gets into real gray area constitutionally, and there are kind of two sides on the way that the different legal scholars think that it could go, because it's such a gray area. I mean, it's just not in the Constitution. Congress could perhaps also add other subjects. So let's say that the states call for a convention on a single subject, say the Second Amendment, or any subject, just any subject they want to make an amendment to the Constitution. Perhaps, highly unlikely that it would go through SCOTUS, that Congress could go ahead and call a convention of states and add other things to the convention. But then it comes down to whether or not states can add other things. So let's say Utah and Wisconsin and Florida let's just say that 2/3 all agreed that we should call a convention on any subject. But out of those 2/3, then a whole bunch of them also said, well, we want to also add this to it. There is no constitutional law. There's no SCOTUS rulings. This has never been done. And this is why you get the runaway convention side of the argument, that we don't want to get a runaway convention. Then you also have other constitutional scholars that think that that can't be done, and it's really going to come down to SCOTUS at that time. And that's why I'm afraid a bit of calling a convention of states, even though I've been a big proponent in the past, with a SCOTUS that perhaps we can't trust. So, any other questions?
No, and I'm so glad you were here tonight, Brig. I don't know why I can't keep it straight in my head, but maybe I'm just tired today.
Well, I one time got a little bit conflicted in my head. I thought it was 2/3 of the states and then 2/3 of both houses of Congress had to approve
Right.
and call for the convention. Um, since, and this was years ago, but after I've been studying, like I said, I was once a big proponent of convention of states. I'm a little bit fearful of it now because we don't know how it will go with a SCOTUS that we don't control. I mean, and we've seen just the judiciary branch from the Article 3 all the way down to like congressional appointed judiciary. We've seen that they're pretty damn unreliable.
Well, they're all
So,
Article 3 except for the administrative ones, but you know.
well, yeah, you've got that right. But they're Article 3. But Congress could always dissolve everything besides SCOTUS. I
Yeah,
mean, we could
absolutely.
go back to 1789, and just make it so it's only
Oh, yeah,
SCOTUS,
only
and
SCOTUS. Exactly.
so
I know that there are bills that are being drawn up and perhaps some have already dropped in which they want to limit jurisdiction. And if they continue to ignore it, actually defund, but I haven't seen actual language yet, so I need to follow up on that.
well, and defunding it, that's kind of a little bit ridiculous in my mind to just defund a court and like what, let them wither on the vine when Congress can go ahead and just say, okay, we just dissolve everything besides SCOTUS.
Well, they could. I think that it's going to be more
But,
step by step kind of a thing, because
yeah, it would be repealing bill after bill. I think there's been 7 bills since the Constitution was ratified that changed, maybe even more than 7, but 7 that are on the top of my head since the Constitution was ratified. That or 7 acts, seven ratified and signed into law
Mhm.
acts that would have to be repealed. And yes, you're probably very correct. They would have to be repealed individually.
You're exactly right. Yeah, the court reform is a big subject, and hopefully they'll take it on. Brig, I'm so glad you're here. I need your brain because mine is failing me. Who's next, Drax?
Rolling on through the night here. All right, we'll go to Thomas, then back to Jason. Man, Thomas, short, sweet, nice and neat. What do you got?
Yeah, I'll be really quick. Thanks again for the mic. I just wanted to respond to Joey asked kind of why people, I think why do people care so much about the Epstein client list? And and again, these prosecutions, these cases take a long time to do properly, and it's I think Jason made a comment about it's about going after the kingpin kind of thing. It's really important to get the real players. But
Exactly. That's why I don't want to see them a rush to release at all.
exactly. But when you look at, there's so many cases outside of Epstein that kind of indicate to like there's just a failure to prosecute at all. Look at the DC Madam, which is Madam Jean Pomfrey, who ran an escort service in DC. She committed suicide before her trial, and Merrick Garland concealed the client list. There's the $17 million used by Congress, taxpayer dollars used for sexual misconduct lawsuits.
In the ethics
This kind
committee,
of,
yeah.
yeah, ethics committee slush fund for sexual misconduct. Robert Kennedy made a very striking comment on one of these roundtable press conferences they just did, where he said that HHS department was used as a vector for human trafficking, and that they've put a stop to it. But I've been looking for a little bit more information on that. But there's such a it's across so many entities. I mean, there's bad actors, and I think that there's so many good people in our law enforcement. And look at like the people like Jason, our first responders, who see the trauma that people go through and see these things. And there's so many people who want these things to have the best result. And the people who are more informed about how these processes go, they know that there's a slow roll to this. But I think people who don't, I think that they're just so upset when they just see the headlines and they see, oh, no more prosecutions again. And when you're really in touch with how much of it is going on, when you look at like the open border during Biden, there was over reports of up to 300,000 children who were trafficked. And that's why Tom Homan has been one of my favorite parts of the Trump administration, because correcting that travesty is that's just a human cost that we cannot afford. And it's so important to address those things. They're made so many good movements in that regard, but there's so much more that we can do. And I think that's why people are upset. I think Epstein is just the tip of an iceberg that when you've looked at these things and followed these cases and seen that it's just been a failure of justice. It really has. No matter how you look at it, it there are people who, I mean, a lot of people who family members commit crimes, and so there's not this long drawn out thing. It really boils down to people. There are people with connection and money and influence and power and know the right people. I mean, look at how many nefarious things the Clintons have done, and Clinton was on the island, and Clinton had a painting in Epstein's house. He's not going to get tried. He's not going to get prosecuted for any of this. And it's kind of like that movie Absolute Power, right? Clint Eastwood, the thief who sees the president murder somebody. And I mean, that's like real. There's people who are just above the systems that like you and I are subject to. And I think people just they're tired of that injustice, I think. And not to rattle on. Thank you so much. I'll land
You
there.
know, Thomas, you're right on so many counts there. I would add to that as sort of a PS. And you can grok me on this, y'all. It takes for a simple federal case, and we're talking federal cases here, a simple federal case, it takes up to a year. It's, we're talking about something that's really complex here and has a lot of moving parts. And I understand, folks have told me repeatedly, I've been waiting 4 years for this. Baby, I've been waiting 40. I've been waiting 40 years for this. And trust me, if I can wait, I ain't gonna be kicking down doors. So y'all, uh, I would love to know, but also quite frankly, a lot of Intel files I'm skeptical of, anyways, because I know for a fact that they are burned, replaced. Think Indiana Jones's giant warehouse full of material, right?
Yes.
So exactly, Thomas. You're right on this, though, and I get that. It's not everyone, because there have been those of us who've been up there fighting tip of the spear for a long time, and shouting into a hurricane and wishing people, begging people to wake up and understand why it's so important. And I am thrilled and glad that people are on board now, and I will have literally, I will spend as many hours as it takes to try and unravel some of the mystery.
Thanks so much for holding this space, you guys. It's been a wonderful space. I've got to get 5 in the morning, so I'm going to probably dip out, but I'm going to continue listening.
Well, somebody's got to go make some money, Come on now. Uh, Ken, the GM
The
of at
GM.
least my space, what's up?
Hey, what was I gonna say? Dang it. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. Sorry, I'm looking at there are
Can you guys hear me real quick?
2,520 live viewers on the live stream that Drax is doing.
Yeah, I
There you
don't
Well
go.
get it.
done, Drax, my
There
man,
you go.
my
I
friggin' brother.
literally don't get it. I'm like, what is Drags
It's
doing?
my mic
I
work.
don't get
It's
it.
the
Like
Yeah, yeah.
it's the
2,500
diff
It's
it's
people. Holy.
magic.
it's the algorithm. It likes
So
every social media platform favors that. But anyway, so
I think it's the
listen.
magic of your
But
intern. I
but
could be
but
wrong.
wait, I'm kind of confused because it says in the space that there's 265 people for me. So he gets
Mm-hmm.
2,500 on the X live stream. Does that go to other platforms or just X? Like I'm just
Just
so
X
Just
right
confused.
now. We're just on
just
X right now.
X,
Just the X
and it
live
has
side.
over 9,000 views.
Yeah,
It's
we're
crazy.
doing that.
So it's just
Doing
been
So
amazing.
so
Um,
so is this
Says
the
332 for me.
Hell yeah.
well, my
325 for me.
God. See, and yeah, and guys,
325
when
for
I
me.
tell you, listen, when I tell you earlier, because I was saying this, when I tell you earlier, when we're trying to drop mics and rotate people quickly, we're not being ugly. Obviously, guys, we're going to have a couple people on the panel that are going to stay up on the panel because they are going to answer questions and all that stuff. But
Test,
like,
one,
this is what
two, one.
happens. Like, when it's busy, we are trying. My God, try to go on other
Ooh.
spaces where they don't value other people's opinion.
You
It's
guys hear
very
me?
hard to get up. So
Test.
I'm
and I'm the GM of Pub Chat, so my responsibilities with HR is we don't
Test, one.
have a
One.
sexual
Can you guys
harassment
hear me?
policy. We actually teach how to get away with it.
oh my
Um,
God, you're
I'm
so
just kidding.
That's
I'm
why my
kidding.
son's there. Okay.
I'm kidding. Hey,
oh
so I
my
wanted to
God.
say one thing real quick. Every time I hear the Epstein files, the Epstein list, the Epstein
Little
files, I
circles
think
moving over here, so I think
I
there's some
wonder of
sound
the
coming through the mic there.
however many millions of people that are on the X platform, and let's say that you get these 60,000 pages or whatever it is, right? How's it going to change your life? I'm really, really genuinely curious how that's going to impact somebody's life in any kind of positive or negative way. I mean, because I think that people get this information and then just let their mind, not yours but theirs, it's none of the people on here, but we all know who they are, but they go crazy with this information and start embellishing and blowing it out of proportion.
Can you guys still hear me? Okay, not can you still hear me, but can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now with them speaking in the background? Test, 1 2 1 2 test. Awesome. So you guys want to continue to hear this? I do not plan to speak tonight on any of the panels or any of the spaces. I do plan to come on here tomorrow and find an X space to speak on. I hear your test. Whatever. Okay. So I'm gonna leave the stream up here. I do have to step away for a couple of minutes here. My daughters are calling me. Uh, they're not working tonight, but I had to bring the vehicle back home because my wife was gonna use the vehicle tonight. So I'm gonna leave the Twitter Spaces. That's correct. The Twitter Space one, but I'm gonna step away for a little bit here.
and honest to God, this is honestly from my heart here. I came into X not to get a bunch of followers. We'll do it, and you guys have helped me immensely. You brought me on your shows, and I appreciate it so much. There's a bill in Minnesota called the Shield Act that is going to make our system a law if our retard legislators can actually fucking get together and do something. But I'm not quitting. My life has been completely devoted to keeping our children our children safe. And you guys talk about this 10,000-foot view on what's going on politically. I'm a grassroots guy. I want whatever happens on the federal level. I really don't care. I just want to make sure people are safe. And I just want to say thank you guys for accepting me into your group. I appreciate the hell of that and recognizing that we're doing a good thing. And I gotta hit the bed, guys. But thank you very much. I appreciate you very
Oh,
much.
Jason, I'm in awe of what you've done. You guys, if you have not checked out his system, you really need to because it's really amazing and it's changed my mind on a whole lot of issues dealing with school safety. Please go to follow him, check out the website. You will be floored at what you find there. Check out Ken Walls his podcast with Jason, also amazing. Very, very good interview. For those of you who want to follow those of us up on stage, if you've heard something that you like tonight, please follow, turn on notifications, and you will find us in all these different spaces. And you'll be able to find Sass when she pops up. And you'll find me, Drax, Roden, Buck, Jason Brigg, all these folks hanging out in the pub Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. But I'm also in a bunch of other spaces that I get yanked into here and there. So turn on notifications if you do follow us, y'all. And yes, I do answer DMs and any questions you guys might have on the side.
Bless you, Kay. You're so kind to the Twitter billions. But yeah, do follow us all because you never know where we'll be hanging out between the boardwalk to the boulevard and chilling. So make sure you drop notifications for Sass, DCK, GM Ken Walls, myself, and Buckster. And don't forget Soviet Roden. All of us part of the pub chat crew Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 9 p.m. EST. All right, Buckster, what do you got for us as we're creeping on past the 2 o'clock hour now here in Twitterville?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to drop soon. So the first thing I want to say is, folks out there, veterans get a lot of the attention on certain days. Please don't forget our first responders and our police that keep us safe, like Jason. Okay, they're just as much heroes as anybody else because they stand the watch at home while soldiers are off fighting overseas. And they're very important. We should never forget them, especially what they've been through. Everybody's seen it. So, Jason, thank you for your service, my friend. You're outstanding. Your 3D response system is outstanding. I mean it. Everybody really needs to check that 3D system response, and they should be going to their schools, to the local legislatures, and saying, hey, you know what? You want to stop gun violence in schools? You want to do something that will immediately have an impact? Stop screwing around and use this system.
We
And
should
then
have a
last,
retirement party for Jason. Just thought,
yeah, we're going to have a retirement party space for Jason. I think that would be outstanding.
And
I'll be there.
he's gonna spill the tea. He's
Oh,
gonna give us all the insider secrets about how cops are all corrupt and out to hurt us. I'm just kidding. Love you,
Don't
dude.
listen
You're
to the
awesome.
former criminal.
Yeah.
former.
Oh shit.
Sorry.
After I'm retired, if you guys want to hold space, I will be blunt as fuck.
Oh, this is going to be fun. Like you weren't before. Okay, I got you.
Yeah,
I'll
that
be
kind of
blunt.
Yeah,
quietly.
I want to do that, Jason. I want Jason Unleashed. That's going to be great. A space for Jason's retirement, then we get Jason Unleashed.
Unplugged.
All right, unplugged, even better. Outstanding. This place gets
I'm
better and
game.
better. Love it. He said he's game too, Kay. This place gets better and better. All right, rock on, man. Jason, thank you, though, man. You put in a lot of service for this country, and people should respect that, man. I really appreciate all you do, man, for the kids, too. Outstanding.
No, thanks, Drax. And seriously, Ken, thank you. Kay, thank you for inviting me into your space, and I really do appreciate you guys saw what I'm trying to do, and you embraced me, and I really do appreciate that.
Heck yeah. I remember when I was fidgety from Night Court got a hold of me and said, "Do you want to do a space with Jason?" I said, "Yeah." And since I met him, he's been a badass dude. He changed my mind on the way I think about schools these days. So unbelievable guy, Jason. Drop him a follow too. Don't forget, 'cause he's pretty much part of the pub chat crew too. All right, man. Brig, what do you got?
So I would like to add my accolades to Jason and say congratulations on your retirement. I would love to hear you in Unleashed. But I also wanted to bring up another thing about the Convention of States, wherein there is a theoretical way to get around a Convention of States for amendments for certain things. For instance, the national popular vote movement, wherein only 17 states have enacted into law trigger laws that, but they have 200, I think 210 or 209 electoral votes, wherein they've enacted into law. If they get enough other states, this is totally outside of an amendment, totally outside of the Constitution. But if they get enough other states, then because states have the constitutional right to determine how they delegate their electors, then they can actually say, okay, now this state is just going to grant its electors to the popular vote versus the popular vote nationwide versus the popular vote in the state. And I used to post about this quite a bit because it's something that's concerning, but it doesn't just, I think that's the biggest movement, but it doesn't just concern the national popular vote, whereas states can actually maneuver around. And again, I'm sure this would go to SCOTUS, and I'm sure it would cause a constitutional crisis of some sort, maybe not as big a one as we're facing now. But wherein states could say, okay, we're just going to go ahead and get around the Constitution and put these trigger laws into place. And some of these trigger laws are 10, 15 years old, where, all of a sudden now there's enough states that are saying we're going to we're going to take the national popular vote versus the vote of the state, and we're going to delegate our electors that way. And we're not far off. I think at 209, and it's being considered in multiple state legislatures to do that. So it's something that somebody that understands the Constitution and the various theories, the sometimes two-sided, sometimes three-sided theories on what is able to be done. It's something that everybody should be concerned about. And that could also, those states could also have trigger laws that came into action when a convention of states happened.
Oh shit, we got the retard finder looking for.
Oh
He
no!
found
Oh
us.
no! He found us.
Uh huh.
He's like,
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
know who they are.
he
Hold
found me a
on.
long time ago.
First of all, which one of you did it? Because I know
Wasn't me.
retard's not after me. And not
Wasn't
after me.
me.
Not this time. Not this time. But I'm gonna tell y'all just real quick. Drax is telling me the numbers because he's streaming it on X Live. I just want to tell y'all, I am so humbled, so humbled that you guys decided to come into this space tonight and we could talk about what was going on with Trump and Elon. We could talk about all kinds of stuff. So, in case I didn't tell you for the millionth time, I'm very humbled that you guys came in here and you guys shared your thoughts. Some of you guys are just so on point. It's unreal. You should probably tweet what you think with what you say in space onto your posts, and get that stuff out there because we need more common sense folks on, the conservative base going at this. So again, I appreciate it all. And yes, the retard finder is in here or was in here. It just dropped. So, they'll be back, I'm sure.
I still
But
see
I'm
it.
great. Oh, I don't see, but it's fine. I am just great. I'm grateful to you guys all. And we got a hand up. Natalie, go ahead and go.
Hey, Sassafras.
Hey, girl. I love the horse on your profile.
Thank you. She passed in February 2023. Rest in peace,
Oh,
Bailey.
oh my gosh, Bailey. Much love to Bailey.
Thank you so much. I wanted to bring up a shout out to First Responders Media, which now goes by the hashtag of IRT Media. This Taco Joe, his name is Joe, but everyone who loves him knows him by Taco Joe. He loves tacos. He literally was live streaming at the border every single night, just about nights on, nights. Oh my gosh, you guys. He has footage of a lot of these illegals coming into the country. And he even spoke with a bunch of them, asked them, "Hi, where are you from? Where are you going? Donde va? Donde vas?" Literally would speak to them in English, and then if they didn't know English, he would speak to them in Spanish. And oh my gosh, he got so many responses. Pretty much everybody spoke and replied back to him. And I remember watching that years ago and thinking to myself, this is going to be a huge problem. This is going to be a huge problem, and nobody's even watching it. Nobody's even really paying attention. And the fact that now we have, quote, 20 million, no. From the videos I saw, I think it's at least 50 million. At least, at a minimum. So
Natalie,
and
you're right.
I would implore all of you, please, guys, go to IRT Media and look at his pinned post. It is the video of the guy saying, "Oh, you don't know me now, but you will know me soon."
Yes, I saw all those. I mean, I saw the
He
other
was the
ones, De
one
Donde
who got.
Vas. Yeah.
Yep, he was the one who got that footage. Shout out to Taco Joe, dude. And he does not get as much shout outs and as much love as we need to give him, because he needs to like be put on a pedestal. I'm not even kidding.
Oh, 100%. I mean, look, I grew up in California and Texas both. And so I, I've watched this for all my life. And obviously it got worse during the Biden administration when they opened the borders just wide open. Come on in. Um, what I will tell you, which is great news, the border is like 98, 99% closed now. And what's interesting that's happened with the deportations is the crime rate in these areas that they've deported folks have gone down. I mean, it's crashed in those cities. So that's actually really good news. But it's folks like the gentleman you mentioned, um, who did all this legwork because we didn't have the ability to do that, right? In the 80s or the 90s. We saw this. I started something at my college called Third College AIDS Project because migrants were coming over. They would frequent prostitutes, and then they thought they could get rid of the AIDS virus with penicillin. So we had to translate a bunch of materials into Spanish, and that was like my first foray. I lived near the border and all of that, but you see, when you're sitting there at your parents' house and you see in the valley right below you, literally them going back and forth in a trail there. When you see signs that have migrant crossing signs on highways, on streets, it's something else. And those rape trees and things, those have been there since I can remember. So it's not new. It just was on steroids. And so, yeah, Tom Homan is one of my favorites too.
Yeah, but Taco Joe, IRT Media, he needs like the biggest shout out. He needs all of us patriots to follow him actively, because he actually had the raw footage material. He was on the border years and years and years ago, watching all of these illegals cross the border. I stayed up for hours upon hours every night watching his live stream. And I'm just sitting there like, girl, this, okay, I'm going to remember your face. I'm trying to remember these faces, right? Because there's so many people in our country now who are just wreaking havoc just for other countries' benefits. And it's totally disgusting. And the fact that IRT Taco Joe is not getting the reconnaissance, he's not being recognized for his work. A lot of people have taken and stolen his videos and posted them to their media, and then they get a bunch of likes and followings or retweets or whatever. It's just Mr. Taco Joe at IRT Media needs to be recognized. It's just all I'm trying to say. I love you guys. I love you, love you, Taco Joe.
Thank you so much for that.
Hey,
Listen, Sass, can I make
yeah.
a real quick public service announcement? Florida, my darling, listen to me and listen to me very carefully. I do answer DMs, but I don't answer them when folks don't come correct. You can flame all you want, baby, but let me tell you, you're going to come correct and you're going to be civil with me. You're going to be civil with people, or you're not going to come in here at all. That's why you weren't handed a mic, okay? Because I am not going to put up with any of that, not now, not ever. I don't care if you disagree. What I care about, I don't care if anybody disagrees with me. What I care about most is that you are civil. There's no reason for the profanity or anything else, brother. So come correct and we can have a discussion. Other than that, take your ass out.
Okay, hold on. Real, oh, two. Good Lord, it's getting spicy. Maybe he's a little bit drinking. Drink. I want to address two things.
Yeah.
I want to address two things real quick. Florida, don't come into my space. You're not going to get a mic. Doesn't matter what Kay just said. I love Kay. She's one of my best friends. Don't trash her. Please do not trash her. Most of us don't like DMs anyways, and I'm not being ugly, but just don't. I just saw your comment and what you said to Kay, and I do not like it. Do not do this. I have seen you on so many spaces and you create drama everywhere you go. So maybe you need to take a step back and realize that you're the problem. Okay. That being said, I'd like to address something else real quick. Somebody wanted to ask me about spaces directly. So I'm going to just address it. I think a lot of people don't understand how spaces work real quick. So I would like to address it real quick. So they asked me, this guy got angry tonight that I did not call on his hand. We had a lot of hands coming up. I have Drax that is actually taking these spaces and doing X Live. I'm learning about it tonight. And I'm doing it on my profile through spaces. So it's getting quite a bit of attention, actually more than I've ever seen. And so this person got very angry that I did not call on them. And I'm sorry I didn't call on them, but we had a lot of requests coming in. And when I say like at one time we had like 20 something requests coming in, it's just impossible. X only allows like 10 speaker spots. Okay. So somebody asked me, and I'm going to read it real quick. Just curious, not taking it aside, but if you had so many people interested, how do you decide who to rotate and drop? So this is me answering in case anybody wants to know how Spaces works, and you'll learn this once you do it yourself. I said requests come in. Spaces only allow 10 speakers. So we let people up, they speak, we drop them down and bring up more people, rotate constantly. But it's a popular space right now, so it's not as quick as I like because we have a lot of speakers with good thoughts. And then the person said to me, I appreciate the answer. I get how you rotate. I don't get how you decide who to rotate. It seems like you drop lesser knowns for more popular people. Is that how you decided? If so, there's nothing wrong with that. It's smart for growth and you should just say so. And I told him, no, we drop people if they've already spoken. Once they made their point and had a reply back, we drop them. We bring up more people. A few people stay on the panel because they have answers to a lot of questions being asked. It has zero to do with popularity. Okay, so I want to make that very clear on my spaces, and the ones that are on my panel right now, they all do the same thing that I do. We all follow the same thing. Yes, if we have Scott Presler that comes in, obviously we're going to bring him up because he's a very big person in our political movement for conservatives. We're going to bring that person up, guys. That goes without saying. We're going to do that for any strong political person that is in our movement. It's going to be regardless. But when it comes to picking people, we don't sit there and be like, no, you can't come up because you don't have that many followers. I have literally let people up on here that have like 3 followers to talk on my spaces. I don't care. If I look, and a lot of times, just so you know, when we look at people, we make sure, one, they're not a troll. We check their content before we accept them as somebody that can speak on our spaces, because the last thing that you want, and I'll tell you this right now, you don't want somebody that is a porn bot that you let up on your speaker and then they spam your whole fucking comment section with dicks and pussy. You don't want to see that, trust me. And then they put it in your jumbotron and then you have to shut your space down. So one, we make sure you're not a troll or a porn bot. You're a liberal. Most of them, actually, I don't like liberals in my space, so I will not let you in. I will boot you out. But Kay Daly and Drax, they love liberals coming into their spaces because they love to have the dialect. They love to have, the discourse. They want to talk. Hold on, Drax. I'll
Oh
get
no,
to
you're
you
fine.
in
I
just
hit
a
the
second,
button. You're
hon.
fine. I hit the button.
No, you're fine. I'll get to you in just a second. I'm just explaining this real quick. They love it. Me personally, I go for more peaceful spaces because I don't want to fight. I fight with people every day on my profile. When I go into a space, I really don't want to fight with people. But Kay and Drax, Ken, they're all willing to talk to people. Roden brings people in that don't agree with her. That's fine. I don't need you to agree with me, but I don't want to fight with you either. If I'm hosting a space at the end of the night, I'm pretty sure I'm relaxing and I'm not going to go to battle. So that's another one. If you post constant conservative political content, you are going to get a microphone on this space, but it depends on how big the space is going. Like right now, I just got a thing that told me that we have 2,600 people on X Live right now, paying attention to this space. Not on my 227 according to my numbers, 2,600 to X Live. So again, we've got people popping in. We don't pick people based off their popularity. We pick it according to hands. We let them up. Once you ask your questions, and again, I said this, we have certain people that stay on the panel. Ken, we've got Roden knows all about Ukraine. She's got information galore. Kay Daly ran for Congress at one point. She has all the ins and outs of Congress, what's going on. Drax is a space host. So we have people that stay on this specific panel because the questions that you want answered, they will probably be able to answer them. And I'm not going to put people just up on this panel that don't know the answers to anything. So it's always good to have a team with you when you're doing this and leave about 5, 6 spaces open that people could come up and rotate. Once people talk, you get your question answered, you get dropped down. That's how it works. So I just want to clear that up for anybody that doesn't understand spaces or thinks that people are doing something nefarious. There are other spaces. I promise you, there are other spaces that will not let you talk. They don't give a shit. They just want their numbers in. They let them in. And then you're supposed to sit there and listen for like 3 hours and you're bored. You get bored. And you're like, okay, I can't talk. I'm not allowed to. Obviously, they have their picks, and that's fine. But I'll tell you what, that's not how I run my space. That's not how Drax, K, none of them run their spaces like that. They all give you guys the opportunity to speak. But sometimes when the space goes very crazy like this one is, we're not going to get all kinds of people up. We're not going to get to everybody. And I'm sorry if it hurts your feelings. So I'm going to yield back. Drax has something to say. Again, please, if you are talking trash in my comments and I see it, Florida, if you are talking trash, I am going to block you from the space. Leave Kay alone. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, leave
One
Kay alone.
I love you guys. No, but one quick thing: if folks who are involved in, on the political battlefield, sometimes, yeah, they have large accounts. Sometimes they don't. We want information that is absolutely correct, true, verifiable. And if there are folks who come in who just are involved in some way, yeah, some of them have very large accounts. I don't care one way or the other if they do. What I want to make sure is that we get the truth out 100% every time.
One Twitterville under God. Holy moly. Yeah. Florida's going crazy tonight, man. But Florida, if you're listening to me, brother, how many times did I tell them, please unblock him, please unblock him? If you do this shit and you go out there to the comment section, how the hell do you think I'm ever going to negotiate my favorite heel coming back to the show? Can't do it, man. Not when you go crazy, man. Gonna have to take a chill out period and then we'll see. All right. So what else are we doing? So we do have Trump going to talk to Elon tomorrow. That's a bonus, right? We're going to get to see something, man. It probably won't end up being a pay-per-view. And that's a good thing, man, because the rest of the country's all gone topsy-turvy over. And look who put his hand up right when I said Trump and Elon. Brad, how's it going tonight? Then we'll head over to Buster.
Oh, hey, man, I appreciate y'all having me. I just got here. I don't know what y'all spoke about before, but I think Trump and Elon, I think this is staged, I think they're trolling, man. I mean, not to, I believe there's a lot of pork in there, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, but I think they're still in concert.
What's funny is I know one person besides Elon who's really, really probably not very happy today. That would be the Chancellor of Germany, who had a state visit today, and that was knocked off the front page, as was the Trump Xi phone call that happened finally, and the hour and a half phone call with Putin that happened. That sort of was knocked out. I know one person who's very happy, and that would be anybody in Biden's circle who's looking at subpoenas. Uh, because that sure was knocked out of the front page. I mean, Brad, I would say that you may be right. You may be right. But I am not 100% convinced yet. I think that they're both pretty reactionary folks. But who knows? I should have more info tomorrow.
That's right. We'll have more tomorrow. We'll be up at Ken Walls' tomorrow, taking pub chat on the road with the gang. So make sure you guys are checking that out. We will drop links in the feed tomorrow. We will put them up in the chat room so you guys will be able to find us. Buckster, you're going with us up to Walls' studio tomorrow, aren't you? We can make pub chat live on a stream for the first time.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Drax. I didn't mean to
No,
cut you
I
off.
said on a stream. It'll be our first time doing it, pushing it out that way with video and stuff. So neat. I love it.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be awesome. I just want to let everybody know, too, that I just took a nice screenshot of Florida and I DM'd it directly to Retard Finder, so I can't wait to see what comes out next.
God. Oh, God.
I know.
Oh my God.
I warned him.
I was
warned him.
getting ready
Retard
to
Finder.
say, like, we got a secret weapon up here with us, you dipshit.
I warned him. I said, you better watch out with Retard Finder on the watch. He's right in here. What are you doing for it? God, you're handing yourself right over.
Yep, I think Retard Finder should do it because that's all this guy does. He's a professional troll, a professional heel. He's not really MAGA. He comes in and he says all kinds of crazy stuff and he starts nothing but crap with people. So, hopefully Retard Finder will take pity on us and throw a little something up there from Mr. Florida.
No, listen, Retard Finder does not go for these type of low scrotum, very scrotum trolls right now. Has no fucking, sperm shit. He Retard Finder goes for, the good shit. So
I love his
listen,
stuff. He is awesome.
I'm fixing to block him. He even said, he goes, oh look, Sassafras is talking about, of course, her on Sassafras board. I'm like, well, motherfucker, you're on MySpace. So I mean, until you hold your own space, I don't know, if I want to talk about me all day and people want to sit here and be on here all day with me, then we'll do that. But that's not what we're doing here, because we've been talking about Trump and Elon. And I'm just explaining to people how spaces run and how I run my spaces. So, get bent, Florida, because you are fixing to get blocked. And yeah, Retard Finder is way too good for, people on the low total pool. So we're not doing that here. Let's save that
He's
for the
not
good
even
shit. Let's save it for the good
Sass.
shit, guys.
You're giving Florida way too
much power.
He's not scrotum material. He's like the fucking tank.
Jesus.
He's the taint where the
He's the tank.
dingleberries hang out.
Oh
I
my
think I
god.
Fucking
think he's
idiot.
bipolar. There's something wrong with him. I think he's bipolar because every space I'm on, he is fighting with everybody, and everybody
Yeah.
has to kick him out. And I'm like, dude, why are you fighting? Like, I've tried to be nice. I'm like, why are you fighting with everybody? But my God, if I went into everybody's space and I was fighting with you, I would sure hope that you'd be like, God, Sass, take your meds. So this dude is getting blocked. I don't care. I think you even had him blocked before, did I not? I had him blocked one time because he was drunk on Drax's Space about a year ago
Uh-oh.
and 2 years ago, and I unblocked him because whatever. But now, like,
He's
I made a
permanently
mistake.
drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ken,
I
did you
blocked
get
him.
that whole taint thing from my son? That sounds like a JR thing, man.
No, I made that one up on my.
Wow.
I think it honestly. I just think calling that guy a scrotum is offensive to all scrotums on the planet. He's more like a taint, like I don't know, just not.
He's duck butter, Ken.
He's that extra
Straight up duck
elbow
butter.
skin.
Oh
Oh,
I
God.
just replied to him because he claimed that Sassafras was talking for like 10 minutes. I'm like, no, you like to exaggerate everything. So you guys check out the comment that I reposted to him. Was I'm like, I'm not having this shit. I'm gonna stand up for you and for the people who are in this space. And I'm like, no, Sassafras is a host,
that's
bitch.
right.
I think we're giving
That's
them way
right.
too much airtime. I think it's exactly
hey,
what they
hey, give
want.
me guys a minute. You guys take over, Drax. Everybody take over. My dog is freaking out. I have to go figure out what's going on.
No problem.
You
Hey,
got it. You got
Camo,
it.
you had something you were gonna say.
I'm just saying he's duck butter. If anybody knows what that is, I think he's just. I think this is his brand. I think he comes in here. He wants that clout. He wants to be known as that guy,
Oh
but
my god.
not working, man.
He just asked me.
Freaking
He told me and Bucky that we don't want to feel the smoke. Oh geez.
what smoke? Your
Oh my
digital talking
God.
shit.
Like,
What smoke? The crack smoke leaving his lips? Jesus, dude, put the pipe down.
He's like Jim Cramer from the markets. Tesla's up, it goes down. So if he's talking shit about you, that means you're doing something good.
always, baby. You gotta love that.
That's right.
You gotta love the hate. They teach us to grow
Jammo
up.
would give him a really good smackdown. That would be awesome.
Easy, man. Easy cake. One hand. One hand.
I'd sell tickets to that, man.
Jamal's like Cobra Kai, man. It only take him one hand. He's like a Cobra Kai person. Miyagi Do. All right. And Jamal was on the stage. Look who put their hand up, man.